Hi, welcome to the True Mass Games YouTube channel, and welcome to another of our D&D one-shots where we play all characters are members of one race or all characters are members of one class. We had a bunch of those, the old druids, all wizards, all rogues, and so on and so on. And today is all sorcerers. Our one-shot is called, as you might have figured it out by now, A Gift of Magic. So we have 4 player characters today, and they're all level 5. They're all sorcerers of different archetypes, of course. We are using some of the unearthed arcana archetypes, in case you might be wondering, because there are, after all, only 2 sorcerers archetypes in the player's handbook. But my players will introduce their characters briefly in a moment or two. So the one-shot starts with an attack upon Baron Victor of Blackport, a rich, fairly powerful, and fairly feared nobleman. This attack is caused by a group of sorcerers who are stopped before being able to kill the Baron, but they wound a lot of nobles, and they kill about 24 or so guards and servants during their attack. And because of that attack, in the aftermath, the perception of sorcerers in the whole realm of Orelon is starting to shift dangerously. All of our players characters, that is, have heard rumors of sorcerers being beset by angry mobs or even killed in like taverns and such, just out of the blue, basically. And you're all becoming weary and wary of the machinations of both the clerics and the wizards, which are both trying to use this current situation to basically push attention away from themselves and towards your group, the untaught, the instinctual, the natural mages, one could say. You all know each other a little bit because you've all been basically taught by the same man, old human, who should be now in his 60s or so, by the name of Professor Xander. He has raised you in some ways for a few months here and there as you kept coming back to his manor to learn to control these incredible talents, these amazing magical energies that might threaten to tear your very body apart if you don't learn to control them. Of course, that was all long ago. You've all grown and you have all become fully fledged sorcerers in your own right. However, you have received a message from the professor calling you back to the manor and basically telling you that you need to meet him so you can come up with a plan to hopefully calm down the situation a bit, I suppose. You recall that the manor is close to a small town or large village, whatever you want to call it, by the name of Deeprun. And you have basically met on the road a couple hours journey away from the manor and will be arriving at the manor shortly. It is autumn, winter is approaching, and most of the leaves have already changed color. And you are looking forward to seeing the amazing orchards surrounding the manor, which is sort of tucked away, hidden from view a bit behind a small hill, maybe about an hour, maybe an hour and a half's walk away from the village of Deeprun, or small town of Deeprun. None of you have been there for about a year or two, maybe even longer, some of you. So you are also looking forward to seeing the professor, despite the, well, unfortuitous timing of your meeting, I suppose. As always in my one-shots, I'll give my players the chance to introduce their own characters really quickly with a quick introduction as they are slowly cresting the hill and approaching to manor to meet with Professor Xander. And we're starting with AJ tonight. So AJ, go ahead and tell us, who are you playing? What is the character's name, and what does he or she look like? Please go ahead.
All right, my character's name is Urk. He's an Aarakocra stone sorcerer. So currently he actually kind of looks a little bit like a gargoyle with sort of bird-like features because his skin is completely stony and gray and dull in appearance. He's currently actually flying probably about 25 feet above the heads of the 3 that are below him, just kind of scouting out the area, looking around, keeping an eye out. And you can see that on his hands, he has these massive gauntlets, and strapped to his back is a very, very large maul. He's not the brightest character, but he it definitely looks pretty beefy and bulky and made out of stone and currently flying. So.
All right, that is a fairly unusual sorcerer, if I say so myself. We'll see how he holds up, and that is Eric. Okay, moving over to the next character in our group, played by Crystal. So, Crystal, go ahead and give us a quick introduction, please.
Okay, I'm playing a dragonborn named Zakara Umland. And the camera zooms by her. It would show that her backpack is filled to the brim full of stuff, 10-foot poles sticking out and rope on the side and an iron pot, sort of just the handle of it kind of poking out of the brim. And so you would think, oh, this is probably a well-prepared character, except for the fact that she's kind of just lolling around from one side of the road to the other, not really paying attention to anything going on. She sees a pretty flower and picks it and sniffs it a little bit and kind of like just pets it with her hand, kind of like tosses it behind her back as she lollies on her way. And as she's raising her hand up on one side, a little mouse comes up and just kind of just kind of looks out at the tip of her claw, looking out over the land, seeming more worried about where he is than even she does at this moment.
Excellent. So that is Sankara. What color are your scales, by the way?
They are a brass color gleaming in the sunlight as it bathes the party.
Excellent. So that is Zenkaras, the brass dragonborn. Moving over to Nicholas and his character. Nicholas, go ahead and give us a quick introduction, please. If you're trying to talk, you're muted. You need to unmute yourself.
So I didn't realize I was muted for a second there. My character is a half-elf who has a lute on his back. Not a lot of armor, but he's a draconic dragonborn, so he has this scale-like texture to his skin.
All right, and his name is Malark, right? Is that how you pronounce it? Okay, excellent. Malark, the not really dragonborn, but also kind of dragonborn, I suppose. So, of course, a draconic sorcerer. And last but not least, we have Wolfgang and his character. Go ahead, Wolfgang, and please introduce the last member of the party.
Yeah, I'm playing Nuvian, and quite obvious wood elf, but also an unusual wood elf in that he seems to have embraced city life and the fashions of the towns. In quite fashionable clothing, actually, short hair, and you wouldn't necessarily notice wood elf if he wouldn't have had the big longbow on his back, and he also has this wonderful cloak which is shifting colors and kind of blending into the background. He's actually on horse right now, and from what you've met him, like every time you meet him, he usually asks you whether you just happen to have a use for smith's tools or for a musical instrument or for something weird, which he's very quick to assure you that he's gotten it from very legitimate channels. And yeah, of course, that's real merchandise and everything. And right now he has strapped to his horse kind of dungeoneering equipment, and you can't help but kind of wonder what kind of scheme he's running right now that he needs that.
All right, excellent. And that is our group for the evening. So we have Malark, the half-elf. We have Eric, the stone-skinned Aarakocra. We have Nuvian, the wood elf. And Zinkara, the brass dragonborn. So you guys are cresting the hill, as I said, leading towards the manor. And immediately as you do, Eric, you are, after all, up in the air and can see further. You realize that something is amiss. Looking over at the manor, which is a couple 100 yards away from you, you can see what looks to be signs of battle. The front door seems to be opened up and maybe even broken. Several of the windows are shattered. There's holes in them. And it looks like the beautiful flowers that have been growing outside of the front porch, so to speak, have been trampled. No movement is to be seen at the manor.
Okay, so I'll swoop down and land pretty heavily in front of the group and relay that information. Tell them that something's happening up ahead. I don't know what's going on, but it looks like there's some serious battle damage to the manor. Let's go.
All right, with that, do you start running or flying or whatever?
Do we have a halfling with us?
You do not. Half elf.
Oh, half elf.
Wood
Who looks the smallest?
Probably Nuvian, I'd say, the wood elf.
I'm on a horse though. So.
But you're on a horse.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna turn towards Malark and I'm gonna say, "You ready to go?" And I'm gonna reach out and grab him. And am I okay carrying him flying?
What's your strength?
19.
Oh yeah, you have the ogre gauntlets, of course. Yeah, you should be fine. You can't. I'd say you're flying with half speed while you're carrying him, but you can fly, yeah, if you want to.
Okay, so I'd still be flying at 25 feet per round.
Yeah,
that's not too bad.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I'll carry him and start flying off.
Is Malark happy about being carried?
He just kind of sighs and says, "Well, ready as I'll ever be."
All right. So the gargoyle Aarakocra and a half elf in his hands shoot across the hill and start swooping down upon the manor. What about the rest of you guys?
Starting galloping towards them.
Okay.
Towards the manor.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sure that they worry too much. I'll get there when I get there.
Okay. So the car just continues slowly, basically. Excellent. So you actually, Nuvian, you are actually overtake the two because the Aarakocra is struggling a bit, flapping its wings or his wings rapidly, but with the added weight of the half elf, he's not as fast as he could be. So you on your horse shoot past them, and are you going straight for the entrance, for the main entrance, or what are you doing?
I'm gonna wait a bit outside. I'm more used with the bow, so I'm gonna try and sit a bit outside, try to have a look, and wait for the others.
Give me a perception check as you are looking around the exterior of the manor, waiting for the rest to catch up.
Oh, that's a 10.
Okay. You don't see any details, but there's definitely been some sort of attack or something here. The door is broken, bursted in, and you see something lying in the door. Some sort of, it looks like a chunk of metal or something like that. You can't quite make it out. And the windows, about 4 or 5 of the windows of the manor, which has about maybe 15 or so at the front, it's a pretty large building, look like they have been broken in from the outside. So it looks like someone either chucked like rocks or something or bashed them in from the outside. There's no glass outside, but there are the windows are definitely damaged. But that's as much as you can make out. And there is no movement.
Yeah, still with my bow, I wait for the others.
Okay. So Eric and Malark catch up after maybe 10, 15 seconds.
And I'll land and put Malark down on the ground.
Okay.
And
So
I'll
maybe you're standing basically at the front gate of the sort of it's like fence. There's like a little, like a chest height stone wall that surrounded the manor and about 40, 50 feet away from the main building, sort of.
I turn towards Nuvian and I say, "Did you see any movement?"
No, nothing.
Well, let's go check it out.
Okay. So you move slowly, carefully, looking around towards the manor. As you do approach, you realize what this chunk of metal that you have seen before is. It looks like it is some sort of greatsword, but it looks like the greatsword has been damaged and partially melted. It's basically a twisted piece of partially sharp metal with what looks to be a hand protector at the bottom that's also sort of twisted out of shape. Looking in, you can see a large common room that you remember fondly, sitting with other students and discussing magic and your specific set of skills. It's completely destroyed. Furniture has been broken open, tossed over. Some of the wall hangings have been ripped off, and there's what looks to be scorch marks of some kind all over, both on the furniture and the walls. There's still a little bit of a pungent sort of stench, a bit of a burnt smell in the air, but it's not particularly fresh.
I would suggest we go to wherever the quarters of Professor Xander are, if he's pulled up there or something.
All right. So you make your way up and you start basically looking through the manor. And while you do so, all 3 of you can give me an investigation check.
Three.
Okay.
15.
Okay, not bad. Malak? Nicholas?
One moment.
Okay. So Nuvian, you only realize that the house seems empty. It's pretty much as much as you can tell. Eric, you looking around, you realize that there was definitely an attack. It looks like basically someone or a group of someone's burst in through the front door and through the windows and started fighting their way towards the back of the house. You don't see any bodies except for a single one, an elderly halfling that you know, a manservant that was working at the manor when you were here last, a manservant called Airbert. He was a good-natured soul, but it looks like a crossbow bolt or arrow pierced his chest and killed him. The crossbow bolt or arrow is no longer there, or maybe it was a dagger or something. It's like a hole basically in his chest, and there's a bit of dried blood on the ground. You reckon the attack must have happened 2, maybe 3 days ago.
I got a 13.
Okay, so you would figure about the same stuff.
Okay, I'm going to turn towards the others and say, looks like this happened about 3 days ago. Doesn't look like it was anybody magical, though. Just mundane weapons.
Yeah, you do see. You also realize that the manor has been ransacked. Basically, anything of great value has been taken. So it might have been a bandit attack, or maybe someone wanted to look like a bandit attack. You're not quite sure.
I think the professor would have been able to defend himself. I'm still worried about where he is mainly.
Maybe he wasn't in.
Yeah, you don't see any other signs of bodies. You found some like splashes of dried blood, quite a bit in some places, but no bodies.
Do we know, like, are there usually other students around here, or?
Yeah, the professor usually has not many these days, but about 3 or 4 students around at any given time.
So it could have been somebody other than the manservant, certainly.
Most likely, yes. The professor had 2 or 3 servants / gardeners, and as I said, a couple students usually around. Not many, but 2 or 3 usually at any given time at least.
Is there any particular trail that it looks like this attack kind of followed? Like a direction that it came from and went to, maybe?
You can only... What you can tell is that it came from the front. It looked like a pretty full-on frontal attack, basically. And they fought their way upstairs. That's what it looks like. That's all you can tell, really.
Okay, are we upstairs currently?
Yeah, you would be upstairs. And by the way, Zinkara is just arriving at the front, by the way, in her sort of slightly absent-minded manner, just looking around, taking everything in.
All right, is there a shattered window nearby?
At the top on the top floor, no.
Okay.
Just the bottom floor. There were several shattered windows.
All right, I'll turn to everybody and I'll say, I'll go take to the skies and see what I can see. If there's anything around, I'll find it. And I'll go down and hop out of the window and just start flying up into the air.
Okay.
Just kind of circling around, probably in a pretty decent radius, like half-mile radius.
Okay.
Kind of looking around, seeing if I notice anything at all unusual.
Okay. What is the rest of you doing while this is happening? I mean, this will take at least about 15, 20 minutes, I'd say.
I'm going to go look through the house further, see if I can find his study or something similar.
You saw his study. It looked mostly ransacked, although he had several books about many books about different subjects. And you do see that a lot of these books are missing, and there looks to be a pile of ash on one side of the room. Maybe someone burnt books, or someone or something else.
All right. May I examine it?
You certainly can, yeah. Give me an investigation check.
Okay. $13 again.
You poking around the ash, you find a few only partially burned pieces of parchment and leather. So you're pretty sure there must have been a pile of books here before someone made a fire out of it. You can't really make out any details, though. Most of the books have been burned quite thoroughly, and what is not burned is very blackened and crumbles as soon as you touch it.
I'm gonna...
Right, moving on then. I'll just kind of sweep the house, I guess.
Okay. What about Zinkara?
And here I'm also particularly gonna look at like where people might have tried to escape, like where people might have run out of a window on the backside or something.
Yep. Yeah, checking the backside of the house. The backside looks mostly untouched. Although, give me a perception check.
17.
Okay. You do see, looking out one of the windows, you see there's a little, like a small orchard in the back, which looks beautiful now in the bright autumn sun with all the many oranges and yellows in the trees. You do see what looks to be tracks of several horses or other hoof animals in the back, trampling sort of through the little vegetable garden and the the orchard as such. But no signs of combat or anything like that.
Arriving or departing hoofprints?
Arriving. So, looking down, you can't really make out too many details, but it looks like they came sort of either they came or left from like the front side of the house and maybe returned the same way. You're not quite sure.
Oh, this seems like a surprisingly organized attack.
Possibly, yeah.
Considering what we've heard about mobs and such, I don't think like mobs would do that.
What is Zingara doing, by the way, at the front door?
Yeah, so when she arrives to the front door, seeing that there's already everyone inside, she's just going to walk around the outside perimeter and see if she can find anything like out of place there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so so are you looking for tracks specifically or more just a general intake of the area?
Yeah, I guess just more of a general intake of the area for now.
That would be an investigation check then.
Okay. 14 total.
Okay, so even though you haven't been looking for tracks specifically, there are quite a few tracks here. Whoever attacked here did not try to cover their trail at all. You see like mud churned up and like what looks to be like boot prints and hoof prints and such. And you get the feeling that about a dozen or so attackers must have been involved, maybe even a few more, several of them on horseback. And some of both the hoof prints and the boots look like they belong to fairly large, heavy individuals, maybe armored or maybe just very strong and muscular. You do find a couple of bits and pieces that seem to be left over, like crossbow bolts and a slightly scorched spear on the side. That seems to have been just discarded by the attackers, you reckon.
Look at this, Alucard. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of that time we were in the astral planes. You know, with the whole fish people and everything. Yes, very similar. Large army. Don't think they made much headway out here.
The little mouse just looks at you and sniffs around.
Okay. Upon seeing that, I guess I'll start heading back inside so I can tell the others what I found.
So Malark, Nuvian, and Zakara, you basically meet up and exchange information. While this is happening, Eric is circling around. Eric, give me a, let's see, that'd be just a general perception check, I guess. I'm assuming you're not flying like hundreds and hundreds of feet high.
No, I'm flying pretty low. That's only a 10.
Okay. So you don't see any tracks leading anywhere around the manor. So the only thing you reckon whoever arrived must have done so by the same sort of path that you took. It's not a full-blown road. It's more of a sort of narrow path, sort of winds its way through a couple fields out of the village of Deeprun and then over the hill to the manor. So you reckon they must have taken the same road, or probably also left in the same road. That's all you can really tell. There's nothing distinctive around. You can see the village in the distance, maybe about 60 or 70 houses.
Okay. If that's the case, then I'll just return back to the manor house and meet up with the party and let them know.
Yep, certainly.
Yeah, they probably know something in Deeprun then.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think we maybe should head back and talk to the people there.
Yeah.
They targeted the books as well. I don't know why, but I found a pile of ash with a few scraps.
Well, then, I would say this probably isn't the handiwork of wizards. They tend to love magic. With the heavy tracks outside, perhaps some baron or something that had a personal vendetta here. Hard to say, really. Sorcerers seem to be in a lot of trouble recently.
Yeah, but if it would have been a random mob, I do think the professor could have defended himself against, what was it you said, 12 people, something like that?
Yes, about that many, I would say. On
Yeah,
horses.
if it would have been wizards, I think we would have had a bit more, like, flaminess about.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, but...
We did see a melted sword, didn't we?
You did. It was lying on the in the open doorway, so like in the very door at the start. It would look like a great sword or something along those lines.
I would like to investigate that and see if there's any writing or anything on it.
Sure. You can take whoever wants to roll. If you both of you investigate it, that will be one of you rolls with advantage, basically, as you're both sort of picking it up and carefully looking around, looking at it.
I'll just give you advantage.
+1 to it. Okay.
Yeah, my investigation's -1.
Okay, yeah. Eric is not the smartest.
15 total.
Okay. Takes you a couple minutes because the blade is twisted and scorched and such. You do, however, find finally some sort of symbol on the heft of the sword. It's damaged, but you think it resembled a torch or something along those lines with like a hand in the flame, or maybe it was a candle with a hand in the flame. Something along those lines.
Okay. Yeah, seeing the scorch marks on it and everything, I caused a little bit of acid to form in my hand so I can like clean up those scorch marks, and then I can see those symbols better. And Alucard runs up onto my forearm as I'm doing this, and I say, Alucard, look at this. And I'm just examining this symbol, which of course everyone else can hear me say that, so they would know I found something.
Yeah, you can all see the symbol now. None of you recognizes it.
Well, I definitely suggest that before we head off, we give the poor manservant upstairs a proper burial outside. Do we have the time? I think so. Right?
Upon hearing that, I walk over. Yeah, upon hearing that, I walk over towards the garden area and I just start using mold earth to just start digging, basically.
With mold earth,
grave
goes very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. I can take out a 5-foot cube in 6 seconds, I think. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, and he was a halfling, so he doesn't need a large grave.
So it takes about 6 seconds.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I also kind of use mending to fix his kilts, so which I assume are kind of slashed and such. So yeah, and give them a proper burial. Don't know any words to say, but at least something.
Okay. Yeah, you carry him down. He seems the little figure seems frail, very vulnerable in your arms, pale and cold, as you slowly put him down into the grave and basically move the earth back and lay him to rest amongst the orchard, the back of the house.
Well, let's get going.
Yeah.
All right. Where are you going?
Back to the village of Deeprun.
All right. So you haven't really passed through the village on your way there, but you passed close by. It seemed like nothing was amiss from what you could say. I mean, it's harvesting season, so most of the people are out in the fields.
Before we
peaceful enough. Sorry, go ahead.
So before we do that, I was wondering if I could use my disguise kit. I have disguise kit proficiency to cover up the scales on my skin.
Yeah. Give me a quick check for disguise. So I'd say that would be a dexterity check with the disguise kit. So based on dexterity. You find a mirror that hasn't been broken in the house and basically apply a little bit of makeup to cover the scales.
15.
Yeah, 15 is good enough. All right. So you set out towards Deeprun, you said? Any specific way do you want to enter the village? Are you just walking as a group, or is someone going ahead, or are you trying to come in from different directions? What are you doing?
I would just head in. No.
Okay. So everyone together?
Yeah, I'm just going to stick with the group.
Okay.
You have a -1 to wisdom, so that sounds like a great idea.
Okay, so as you do walk through the fields, sort of wheat and barley on the sides of the road, you do see that you do draw some stairs, especially Eric.
I was going to say, actually, I do drop the stone skin.
Oh, okay.
On
Well,
the way into the town.
Draw attention, as an Arakocra in these parts is unusual, to say the least, but not as bad. Yeah, not as bad as you would otherwise with the stone.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but still, you see some wary glances. People are not openly hostile, but there's definitely a bit of mistrust. The village itself isn't particularly large. It's centered around a small square with an inn on one side and like a little temple on the other side, a temple of Pelor with a sun symbol on the front. And as I said, about maybe 70 or 80 houses surrounding it. The whole village is surrounded by a wooden fence, but there is no gate as such. It's just an opening that you can easily walk through. And there seems to be no like guards or anything like that. This is mostly a fairly calm area of the realm.
Sorry, I need to ask something real quick. When we had that, I have paper and some some ink and such. So when we had that sword with the symbol, could I have put a little bit of paper over that symbol and maybe like smeared ink over it so I could copy it?
Okay. The symbol itself is fairly simple, so you could even draw it if you wanted to, even just like dipping a finger into ink and drawing it onto a piece of paper.
I have an ink pen, so
okay.
Okay, yeah. So I just wanted to make sure that I have an outline of that, so I'll know what it.
Yep. Okay.
So how common is a half-elf and a dragonborn around here?
Dragonborns are rare, not suspiciously so, but rare. Half-elves are not rare at all. This far south in the realm, this is sort of close to the eternal woods of the elves, which are on the sort of southwestern edge of the kingdom. So there are quite a few half-elves around, not like 20% of the population or anything like that, but plenty enough that you wouldn't draw any stairs at all. Same with wood elves, by the way. There's also quite a few wood elves around, living amongst the people, the humans and halflings, which are the most part of the population, the biggest part here.
So I'm the real sore thumb then.
Yeah, you're the Dragonborn is also unusual. That she would definitely draw stairs.
When I see people stare at me, I just wave at them with a friendly smile.
Okay. Some people sort of wave back hesitantly, others just turn away as you do so.
Look at that Alucard. They really like us.
The village looks fairly calm at the moment. You reckon most of the people, the working people, must be out in the fields. A couple of children are around, a few elderly people sitting on porches and such, but most of the people must be out in the fields at the moment.
Is there like a center of the town where there like might be an official building or anything like that?
You don't see any like town hall or anything like that. You do see a small square with a well in the center and sort of inn on the right side, and what looks to be a small temple of Pelor on the left side of the square.
What kind of time of day do we have?
It's maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon now.
All right. I'm going to head to the inn, I think.
Okay. The inn, you see there is on the sign, which is slowly swinging in the wind, you see there is an elf with long golden hair playing a fiddle and sort of jumping in midair. It's actually painted with quite a bit of skill on the sign. It surprises you a bit because you hadn't expected such a well-crafted sign in such a small inn in a fairly tiny town.
Well, I'm hungry. I suppose we can go into the inn and maybe there's somebody there to talk to.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I'll follow too.
you push the door open and you enter the common room. You can see that there's maybe about 8 or 9 large tables and a bit of space on the bar. There's only about 5 or 6 people there, all elderly farmers by the looks of it, that seem to be quietly enjoying a simple meal. There's also a half-elf, a fairly tall one that looks already a little older than your average half-elf, sort of grayish brown hair falling onto his shoulders, dressed in a simple apron, standing behind the bar. And he does look over to you as you enter, and he looks a bit surprised and slightly suspicious as you enter, but he sort of forces a small smile and says, "Ah, my friends, welcome. My name is Albin. How can I help you? Welcome to the Dancing Fiddler."
So I was looking into an attack that had recently happened nearby, and it is
an attack.
Out of character. Is everyone else with me?
Yeah, everyone's in this common room. Yeah.
Okay. So
I don't know anything about that. I'm sorry. No attacks. Nothing. I don't know anything. Sorry.
Okay. Well, perhaps there's something else you could help us with. The attackers had a sword, and it bore a weird symbol on it. I don't know if you...
Sorry, I really don't know anything about any symbols or swords or attackers or attacks or anything like that. I'm just an innkeeper, really. You'd have to ask someone else. Sorry, and he sort of starts turning away.
All right.
Bottles and stuff.
Okay.
As soon as Balak starts talking like this, I'm gonna like sit down on a table. I'm not gonna be able to make it look like I don't belong to the group, but I'm gonna try.
Okay. Sure.
All right, and I'm gonna immediately my skin turns and my feathers turn to stone, and I walk over and I slam my fist down on the table and I say, "Answer the question."
We don't want no trouble here. I'm just a simple innkeeper. Give me an intimidation check.
All right, cool, because I have +6 to that.
That.
I'm also going to walk away.
I'll actually give you advantage on that because of the stone skin and everything. It's
awesome. I got a 23.
Wow. Okay, he goes really pale and starts like stuttering. I didn't mean. I'm sorry. I'm just. Look, we really don't want any trouble with your kind, whatever your kind is.
Just okay, and I'll turn my skin back to normal again, and I'll just say, relax. I just want to know about the attack. You know about the attack. I know you know about the attack. Just please, we just want to know what happened.
Looks around the common room. Everyone's sort of looking down onto their tables, avoiding his gaze. He leans forward and says, "Listen, if you want to know details, you'll have to speak to Derek, the priest." And he sort of points out the window with a slightly shaky hand. It was there was a bunch of armed people, like a caravan. They were here for about a day and a half. They left yesterday. All
right, thanks. That's all I need to know. I reach down into my pouch and I pull out a gold piece and I flick it towards him as I walk out the door.
Punches him in the face, in the forehead. He was just like standing. Yeah, that's not necessary. Thank you. Sort of starts rummaging for the gold piece on the floor, disappearing out of sight.
Just try to have a look around what the reaction of the townsfolk is to this.
No one's looking up. You sense they seem to be nervous, afraid. Suddenly.
Yeah, but like no angry looks at this.
The atmosphere was fairly jovial when you enter. I mean, neutral when you entered. But they're all like looking down into their drinks or food, quietly eating, not talking at all. It's quiet now. You can hear only the scraping of cutlery on plates and such.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk out afterwards and kind of tap Malak on the shoulder and say, well, kind of not my style, but it got results, I suppose.
Once they walk out, I'm going to make my way slowly over, and I'm going to say, I'm very sorry about this. It's such a touchy issue with us. Please allow me to help repair your bar, and I'm going to leave 2 or 3. I'll say 3 gold pieces on the bar before I walk out.
Okay, as you sort of lean over, you can see the innkeeper sitting, like leaning with his back against the bar, sitting on the floor, just like covering his face. He looks up. That's fine. Just please don't get us involved in this, please.
Yes. I completely understand. You'll be safe, I promise.
Thank you.
I think for the meantime, he just wants us out, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll walk out after I tell him that.
Okay.
Then
So you'll leave and step out
leave.
of the square again. Yeah. Okay.
I'm making my way straight towards the Temple of Pelor.
Okay.
And as I do, my skin again goes to stone.
A couple of the children are sort of playing in a corner of the square. Sort of looks up as that happens. Did you see that? What is this? A demon? Is that a demon? They start sort of slowly backing away.
And I'm gonna real quick I turn towards him and I smile and I'm gonna use prestidigitation to make my eyes glow red.
Ah! Ah! They just run off into a side alley. All 3 of them.
And I'm gonna keep walking over towards Temple of Pelor.
Okay. The temple is not very large. It's
Mob, don't
really
you?
more of a shrine, I suppose. It looks like to only have like a single medium-sized room with a double door at the front, which is carved this image of a rising sun disk, with like a stylized face within the sun, and a few small windows where a little bit of sunlight is shining in.
Does it look like an approachable building, like anybody can just walk in, or?
It looks like it, yeah. I mean, the door is closed, but other than that, there's no like wall surrounding it or anything like that.
Okay, I'm gonna keep walking over there, and unless anybody stops me, I'm gonna open up the door.
Okay, so you give it a push with your strength. The door flies open, and you can see down the aisle, basically, with a few benches on both sides. At the front, there is a small altar with like a golden wood, but like painted in gold color, sun that rises above the altar in the back. There is a young man, maybe in his mid-20s, shortish blonde hair, wearing the robe of an acolyte of Pelor, with this same sun symbol on the chest, and sort of cleaning the floor in the back with what looks to be some sort of broom or something. He does turn around and freezes as he sees you, and in your stone-skin winged form standing in the door. What is the meaning of this? What are you, or who are you? I asked you a question.
I'm a bit behind him and I say, oh, we're just travelers on the road. Are we late for the midday prayer?
Yes, you are, in fact. You say you're travelers. I don't think I've ever seen a traveler like this before.
Don't worry about him. There are many kinds of people in the world, as you know, under Pelor's light.
That's true, I suppose. So what brings you here?
Oh, well, I'm a hunter from the Elven realms, and after a trading expedition, I'm now returning home with my friends here.
I see. Well, he seems to relax a little bit. Give me a persuasion check. In fact, a deception check, since you are lying up. It's
Persuasion or perception?
Deception.
Deception. Well, it's also 24, so...
24, wow, okay. Well, he does seem to relax, won over by your charming lies, and nods, and so puts the broom to the side, leaning against the wall, and comes towards you a little bit and says, well, welcome to Deeprun. My name is Derek. I'm the local priest, as you can see. And as you say, Pelor's light shines upon all of us. So, can I help you with anything? You here for a quick prayer at the altar, or bringing a donation to the temple, or any advice that you might need?
Well, both for safe travels, I suppose. A prayer and a small donation will always be in order.
Yes, of course. He points towards the altar, and you can see on the side of the altar is this little sort of wooden box that you reckon is for donations.
Yeah, I try a mumbled prayer, not knowing actually any, pillar prayers, and I'll drop a gold coin into the donation box.
Okay. He does see that, and his eyes go a little wide and says, "Oh, very generous, traveler. Thank you."
Noticing that his eyes go wide at one gold piece, I kind of chuckle a little bit as I walk up and pull out 10 and plop them in the donation box.
Thank you. Palos light shine upon you, my friends. I'm sorry for my reaction earlier. I was just startled. Your kind is fairly unusual here. If you don't mind me asking, what is your kind?
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm just a lowly Aarakocra.
Aarakocra? I mean, I haven't seen many of your kind before, but they looked quite different. But I am not judging. Forgive me.
Yeah, well, you know what? Some of us are uglier than others. You don't have to point it out.
I'm sorry. That was not what I meant. You just startled me with your entrance. For the donation, we will put it to good use.
So, do you know anything about Professor Xander?
Yes. This I know of him. He was a practitioner of the black arts. Actually, not living far out of here. Why? He looks a bit suspicious now.
The black arts, you say?
Yes, foul magic,
Really?
unsanctioned one.
We were wondering because he actually ordered a trophy from me, and I wanted to deliver it, but his mansion seems a bit worse for the wear.
Oh yes. Well, I'm afraid, my friend, that you will not find this foul sorcerer there anymore. It's probably better if you don't do dealings with his kind. Associating with this type of people could be dangerous.
Well, yes, but they usually don't blow up their own mansions. Do you have any idea what happened there?
Oh yes, in fact I do. Give me a persuasion check with advantage because your deception was pretty good and he seems to like you. And you also paid him a lot of money.
That's a 19.
Okay. He hesitates for a bit and then nods and says, "Well, I can tell you. I had the honor of meeting one of the high servants of Pelor here about a few days ago. Inquisitor Gavrilo and his men. They were here recently. He had a troop of redeemers with him. They took care of this black mage and delivered us from the threat that he posed. You know, he held this town in a grip of fear for many years. It's about time that the church did something about it. These are good times, my friend, for all that walk in the light."
Ah, yes, indeed, although I don't quite manage to pull it off convincingly, I suppose.
Either way, if you have a trophy with you, you might want to try Albin the Innkeeper. He does sometimes pay hunters for such things. I'm sure he would not be able to pay as much as the sorcerer with his unrightful gains, but nonetheless, some coin is better than none.
Oh, thank you. I'll try that. Thank you very much. It's about time for lunch, anyway.
Quick question there, Derek. Where's Gavrilo and his redeemers? Where are they right now?
Give me a persuasion check. His eyes go a little small as he looks at you suspiciously after this very direct question.
Persuasion is 14.
Okay. He hesitates for a bit and says, "Well, I suppose there's no harm in you knowing. They're on their way to Sevenstein Fortress, where the black mage and his pupils will be cleansed and redeemed by the touch of the Redeemers."
Cleansed, you say?
Yes. Who are you?
Name's Millark.
A friend of yours? Is he?
Yes.
Yeah. Hmm.
I see. Well, yes. Yes, they will be cleansed. And this world will be cleansed of their foul influence.
All right, I've heard enough, and I'm gonna go over to the donation box, pull my money back out, put it in my
Well,
pouch, and walk
there's
out.
a split in there, so you can't really, like, unless you force
I'm gonna
open.
break it then.
Okay, give me a strength check.
All right, that's a strength check is gonna be a 23.
Yeah, you reach in and just rip open the whole lid of the box. It's just splinters of wood fly everywhere. Derek's like raises his hand to cover his eyes. What? What are you doing? This is a. What is he doing? He looks at the rest of you, the other 2 or 3 or however many.
I look about as confused as he does.
And I'm just gonna say, I'm not with them, and I'm gonna walk out.
Stop this instant. I'll call the militia. Sort of shouts after you.
Do we actually know? Do the Inquisitors operate like with the permission of the crown, or are they just like?
Give me a religion check.
That'll be a glorious 6.
Okay, you have absolutely no clue. You vaguely know that an Inquisitor is some sort of priest, but that's it.
So, as Eric stomps out, I'm going to help him collect the money he dropped all over the floor.
Okay, so you get your money back plus a handful of silver. That was in the box.
Or is there anything left? Oh no, we put stuff in there. There's stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, well, but most of the money was taken by Eric.
Yeah, I will apologize and fix the box because I have like with mending.
Oh, okay.
And say, well, off to a cleansing.
As you do so, his eyes go wide and he stumbles back and says, You're one of them!
And you are one of them.
You're one of the pupils of this foul creature.
Mind if I roll performance to look surprised at this revelation?
Well, that would be a deception check, actually.
Oh. All right,
But
well, I'll do that then.
Okay.
That is a 19.
Okay, yeah, you look very surprised. You had no idea that he had magical powers, this weird elf. You're one of them. Did you come to kill me as well? Or something else? Take my soul or something? My soul belongs to the Dawn Father. Be gone from here, you creature.
Don't worry, I'm not
Pointing
here
at
to kill you. I'm here to visit a friend. But this whole talk about cleansing has me inspired somehow. But no, it's okay.
The power, he takes out his holy symbol and he's like raising it up and says, the power of Pelor will punish you. Leave this place at once, creature.
I walk out unimpressed by his holy symbol.
You're lucky that the Inquisitor is no longer here. He and his men, they'll make sure you are purified. Shouting after you as you leave. Is anyone still in the temple?
I'm going to stick around because I have a feeling he hasn't told me everything. And
Okay, he looks around, sees you standing there.
I've got his money, and I hand it to him.
Okay, thank you. You are not with this foul creature, are you?
No, I mean, I was, but I had no idea what he really was.
Yes, you have to be careful. We have to be sharp-eyed. Otherwise, these creatures, they can infiltrate our society. Have you heard what they did in Blackport? They nearly killed the Baron there. I'm guessing they're finally showing their true colors, maybe even trying to take over the realm with His Majesty's coronation so close at hand. Maybe the powers of darkness are making a play or something. We have to be vigilant. Good men like you and me.
Right. So what is it that they do? to cleanse these foul creatures?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure. The Inquisitor did say something about a secret weapon against this kind of this black mage, but he didn't say any specifics. I didn't inquire, really. The Inquisitor's business is his own. But Sevenstein Fortress is well known amongst the people who walk in the light as a bastion of well, the light. No evil can persist there.
Is it so? It was the Inquisitors that stormed the mansion and attacked that foul.
Yes, they lost 4 of their men in the fight. This foul man, he had powerful sorceries prepared. We buried them in the back with all the ceremonies. These were brave men facing such otherworldly power with just their bare hands and the rightful steel in their hands.
Right. Well, I'd better be off then.
Yes, walk in the light, my brother.
Same to you.
He nods.
I'll leave at that point.
Yes, as he's trying to sort of fit the money back in the box, looking a little nervous as you walk out. Okay, so I'm assuming you guys meet a little further down the road or something?
Quick question. Is there only the one entrance to the temple?
There is only the one entrance, yes.
And what kind of earth is in front of it? What kind of ground?
There, immediately in front of it, there's like 2 steps, stone, leading
be right back.
Then there's just ground, like normal earth.
Okay, I'm going to spend like 20 seconds just piling up a giant mound of dirt right in front of the doorway.
Okay.
Using mold earth.
Sure. Okay. So there's like a large mound of earth now.
Yeah, I waited for our companion to get out, and then, yeah, I'm blocking off the doorway with a bunch of dirt.
Okay, so you push the door closed and do that then. I see.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it will take a while to get out there, I'm sure.
So it sounds like we need to go to Sevenstein Fortress.
Right. I recommend that you guys not do what you did. We don't need to make a scene if we can avoid it.
I'm sorry, but this talk about cleansing has me riled up. Oh.
Understandable. We just need to get there and stop it before something becomes of our fellow students.
Yes, I'm sorry. I will be more subtle in the future.
Yes.
No promises.
He just kind of sighs and says, well, anything else that you can think of we need? Maybe some food? Though I doubt they'll let you guys back in that inn.
Oh, they'd let me back in. They just wouldn't like me being there.
No, I'm fine, and I pat my saddlebags with the kind of climbing equipment and whatever in there.
Yeah, Zinkara has just been standing outside around the town, just sort of chatting with people upon seeing this Arkark with us, like piling dirt in front of the temple, is just kind of rubbing her head, knowing how bad an idea it is to desecrate a temple of a god.
Well, to be fair, I'm not desecrating the temple. I'm just blocking off the doorway. Because I don't like that guy in there.
Money. I don't know this at this point, but you did steal money. That's desecrating a temple.
No, I just took my money back.
Plus a few silver pieces.
No, I made sure I only took my money.
Okay,
Well,
fair.
I know that I'm going to. I know that I'm going to stay a few steps away from you at all times, just in case.
Probably.
If the sun falls on your head, yeah, possible. So,
Well,
what do you guys?
all for heading out towards Sevenstein Castle or Keep or whatever it was.
Yeah, 17 Fortress. Yeah. So the problem is you don't really know where it is unless you can all. I mean, you can all give me history checks, but it's not like it's like just down the road.
Something I should have asked. Right.
Maybe.
Well,
History check. I got a 3.
No idea. Never heard of
may
it.
I attempt?
You can all try it. Sure, you have all
I
heard.
get a surprising 16.
Okay. With a 16.
At 20.
Wow. Okay. You actually know. Recently, you talked to someone in the last couple of days who actually mentioned the fortress. It is about a 2.5 days journey from here to the west. You know that there's like a few more villages, then a fairly large forest, and then on the other side of that forest is a 7-stein castle fortress. You also know that it is a fortress of Templars, of holy warriors of Palor, basically. Well, not a particularly large fortress, but it has a specific reputation because there's a few very devout followers of Palor that call that fortress their home, if you know what I mean by the word devout. You could also say fanatical in some ways.
Or zealous.
I'll say as I was walking around the town, this soldier came up to me because he used to know some other Dragonborn, and we were talking about Dragonborn we knew and stuff. Yeah. And he relayed this information to me.
All right.
And now I'm relaying it to the group.
Well, in that case, we'd better get some supplies if it's going to be that long of a journey.
Well, I'm fine. What do you guys think?
We should get horses for the two that don't have one.
Yes.
Probably a good idea.
I should probably not be the one to do that.
I'll do the talking.
Okay. Do you have enough money to afford horses?
I didn't spend much of what I was initially given.
Okay, well, a riding horse costs 75 gold.
I
I only spent 10 of mine to buy a weapon, and that's it.
Okay, cool. You have plenty of money, so who wants to buy horses? We don't need to play that in detail. You just ask around town. And,
I'll purchase one for myself.
I'll purchase one for myself as well.
Excellent.
And I will trust to my wings.
That is fair. So 75 gold each, please. The riding horses are not of particularly high quality, but they are riding horses. They will last at least for a few days.
While the others are searching for horses, I'm gonna try to sell my calligrapher's tools, a lute, and a pound of saffron to somebody. I assume in a village I don't have much success, but I'm going to try.
Correct. Give me a.
You're gonna sell that in order to get some gold?
Yeah, I just happened to pound.
I'll spot you this time. I'll spot you this time if you need gold for a horse.
Oh no, I have a horse. I don't need. I just want to sell my stuff.
Okay.
So roll me a persuasion check.
That was a 21.
Okay, so what did you want to sell? You said a calligrapher's tools?
Yeah, it's just some random small stuff. It's a set of calligrapher's tools. I have a lute. I have a pound of saffron.
Okay. A pound of saffron, that's not that much. Yeah, you can probably sell all that with, it'll take you maybe 2 hours or so, but the rest will take the rest also probably about 2 hours to get horses. So that would be, let's see, 10 plus 15 is 25. What was the last thing?
The pound of saffron?
No, a lute, you said, right?
Lute,
or something like that?
Yeah, it's...
that's a lot of money. So you won't probably be able to sell the lute, but you will get about 50, let's say 18 gold for the other two things.
Okay, fair enough.
Lute's a bit too expensive to sell in a village like this.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't have time to buy some random other crap, but yeah.
So you get some horses. Do you want to head out immediately after getting the horses? It would be about maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock, pushing close to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So you still have good 2 hours of daylight, probably.
Yeah, I think we kind of didn't make friends here and should head out.
Okay, fair enough. So
you guys didn't make friends.
Okay. So you ride west, leaving the village of Deeprun behind. And how fast are you traveling? Are you pushing your horses? Or are you riding leisurely or normal pace?
Well, I'm just going to suggest that we get to the next village and then stop for a rest, and that the others behave.
You can do that if you want.
True.
Yeah,
sounds good.
I'm currently just flying my 50 fly speed pretty constantly. So
Yeah. So there's a village every hour to hour and a half here. There's a bunch of villages. This is a fairly well settled area
Okay.
until you get to a forest that is called the Seventh Wood. And that's about nearly a day's journey from where you are at the moment. See where the edge of the forest is. And then there's a good you'll need a good day's journey as well to get through the forest. And then on the other side is the fortress. So basically a good 2 days journey, you'd say, on horseback. But yeah, you ride for 2 hours. You ride through several villages, get to another one, and can easily obtain rooms there in a small inn if you wish.
All right. I can get free room and board for myself because I have the entertainer background.
Yeah, you can. If you mention that to the innkeeper, he will most happily accept your an hour's performance or so in the evening in exchange for room and for board and dinner, basically.
Yeah. So I will, and I'll pull out a lute that I happen to have. Play a few songs.
Give me a
Should I roll performance?
Yeah, roll me a performance check for sure.
21.
Nice. Yeah, you give a very good performance. Probably one of the best this village has seen in months, maybe even years. And half of the village population comes in over the course of the evening to hear you play. And the innkeeper is happy to offer you a very sizable dinner and free alcohol, basically. And a room on your own. A small one, but nonetheless.
It is sustenance, right? Do I get any tips, by the way?
Yeah, I'd say with a 21, you definitely get some tips. I'd say you will get quite a few bronze pennies and silver coins, but all in all, they will amass to about 3 gold pieces.
Ooh, nice.
This was quite.
Have a 4th gold piece from me.
Okay, plus another gold piece.
is there anybody that's gambling with dice?
No, most of the people are busy watching the performance and just staring open, wide-eyed and open-mouthed, partially even. It's a pretty good performance.
So, I'm mildly impressed.
All right. Does anyone want to achieve anything during the evening while your companion Malark is entertaining the crowd?
I will talk to some random townsfolk, and probably tomorrow I'll have, I don't know, a nice ham on my horse or something random that I was able to buy in this village.
Sure.
I have a healer.
Sorry, go ahead.
I have a healer's kit, and also took the healer feature. So I want to see if there are any people in this town that maybe they have, injured limbs or something I can just help some people with while I'm here resting.
Sure. Roll me a d20, just a straight up d20.
Okay. 2.
Sadly, doesn't seem to be like that. Most of the people here have crops, not too many animals in this village, so there's nothing you can help with.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Then I'll just have a meal and a little bit of drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Food is and the alcohol is decent. Nothing amazing, but decent enough.
I have 2 or 3.
Sure.
So would I need to roll con?
No, not with 2 or 3. Not with just 2 or 3 drinks. You might be a little tipsy. Sorry, drop my die. There we go. But little tipsy, but nothing not actually drunk or anything.
Mm.
Okay, so if no one else wants to do anything, then we'll just skip the rest of the evening and the night as you find a good night's rest in mostly comfortable beds and wake up the next morning to a actually fairly rainy day. Dark clouds have risen during the night, and there's a steady drizzle falling from the sky.
Knowing some of the crops, most of the people here are farmers. Is there anyone in the tavern as we get up and start getting breakfast?
It depends on how early you want to get up. If you get up fairly early, then no, there's only going to be a bar wench serving you a quick breakfast. That's pretty much it. I'm assuming you're getting up early because you want to
Right. Yeah.
I'm right.
I'll make conversation with her like, oh, these rains will be good for your town's crops.
Oh yes, I think so too. It hasn't been raining as much this year as it should be, but the crops are decent enough. I shouldn't be complaining. The gods are watching over us. This is a God-fearing town, after all.
Yes. Yes. Well, the gods will always provide what you need, as say the holy text of Palor.
Yes, that's what the priests say. I don't disagree. Times have been rough, but they're looking up better and better now.
Okay, just making small talk.
Okay. So you get up, grab a quick breakfast, and are out on the road once more through the rain. The rain isn't too heavy, but it's more annoying than anything, really.
Do I have any kind of trouble flying in the rain?
No, it's not that heavy enough for that.
Okay.
I certainly suggest making good speed. If it makes the difference between assaulting somebody on the road and assaulting a fortress, I'm up for making speed.
Yeah.
All right. You can definitely try. So you're pushing your horses a bit during the day. At first, it is fairly easy because the roads are decent. But after maybe about 6 or 7 hours of hard riding, your horses are getting a bit tired, and also the road is getting crappier as you are approaching the 7th wood, the 7th forest, this fairly large sort of mixed forest, evergreens and leaf trees. Now, of course, colored in all the different colors of autumn. But on this gray day with the drizzle raining down from the sky, all the colors are brown. It's not a particularly pleasant autumn day. And you do reach the edge of the forest at about maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon or so. There's a single road that looks like it hasn't seen much traffic recently, and it hasn't been repaired in a while, sort of winding its way through the trees and disappearing out of sight.
Okay, I'm going to fly up pretty dang high and see if I can see any sign of the fortress at all.
No, the visibility because of the rain isn't as much as it could be. You can maybe see a couple miles, but the fortresses must be way beyond that. You just see the forest stretching all out into the distance on westwards, basically.
So I'll use message, actually, targeting Eric.
Yeah.
To ask him, what do you see?
And I'll respond and I'll say,
It's just forest as far as the eye can see.
So I'll relay this down to the rest.
All right.
Well,
We expect the forest to be kind of a day's journey, right?
Yeah. That's what I think he said.
we should get out of here as quickly as possible. Just ride as hard as we can, all the way through.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I would be for a night's rest, but, then get up early.
Well, we should stop and buy maybe some rations then. If we're going to just go straight through the forest. So
You guys
we may
don't have
need to
any?
stop and rest.
is there any kind of town or village nearby?
You did pass through a village about half an hour ago or so. Nothing at the very edge of the forest, no.
Well, I guess we can't then. So
Have we had to use any rations since we've been on the road?
No, probably not. So you should have plenty.
I have plenty of. I have plenty of rations. I do not think we need to stop for any reason. Let's just keep going.
What time is it?
It is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
keep going
vote
then.
we keep going then.
all right, yeah, let's
Okay.
keep going.
So you push on into the forest. The road is not particularly wide, just wide enough for maybe one sort of large wagon or something like that on the road. And it's a dirt road. You do notice very soon on the road as you're riding that some sort of what looks like several wagon tracks, like wheel tracks, have passed through here fairly recently.
Any chance to tell how far ahead of us they are?
Survival check if you want to determine that.
Got a 20 on survival.
20. Okay, nice. You'd say a good day's. They're probably about a day old. These tracks, so they must have gone through here, entered the forest at some time, maybe around noon yesterday or so.
I don't think we can catch them before they reach the fortress, but I still think we should try.
Did we have to stop to determine that, or?
No, he was just looking down as you were riding. So you're still riding.
Okay.
On.
All right, yeah. So still pushing the horses as fast as we can to catch up.
Yeah, you push through the forest. You ride for about maybe 2-3 hours, and then you come upon, or maybe a bit more. So just around nighttime, actually, maybe just before nighttime, you come upon what looks to be a camp on the side of the road, although it is the remains of one, not an actual current camp. And you can see there's a few discarded bits and pieces and what looks to be a large fire pit that has been in use not that long ago. There's also what looks to be a large wooden wagon wheel, broken and just pushed aside somewhere on the side of the road.
All right. So I recommend we stop here for the night because the horses are getting tired.
They are. The horses are looking sweaty and very tired.
But look, there's a wagon wheel. It's broken. So we should probably just push on through the night and catch up with them.
Yeah, but if the wheel is here and not the wagon, I assume they fixed it.
So if the horses get too tired, then we'll have to walk, and I don't fancy walking through a dark forest.
Wow.
Yeah,
you believe it best. I will trust your judgment.
You have about half an hour of daylight left, but even this still sort of relatively early in the evening, the forest already getting quite dark.
Can I fly forward for about 15 minutes and see if I can scout and see if I can see anything at all? And if not, then I'll just head back.
Sure. You fly up and fly out above the canopy. You have to keep fairly low, otherwise you won't be able to see the road properly because the canopy of the trees is sort of meeting above the road on both sides, but sort of hovering maybe 30-40 feet above the canopy of the trees. You're following the road a bit, but after 15 minutes you don't seem to see anything. Where if your quarry is still ahead of you, they must be further ahead of you than just that.
Can I land down on the trail and investigate the tracks?
Yeah, you can. They're definitely still there. I mean, you can roll me a survival check if you want to
I want to know how old they are, maybe.
Yeah, that would be a survival check.
Okay, survival. That's going to be a 19.
You'd say maybe a half a day old.
Okay, so we caught up a little bit then.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I'm gonna head back and make my way back to the group.
Okay. So you're making camp, the remains of their camp, basically?
Mm-hmm. So while Eric's doing that, I'll gather some firewood. Would that be investigation?
No, you just make that automatically. You're a wood elf, right? So you're
not a half elf.
You're a half elf. In that case, give me a survival check.
9.
You don't really find much. You find a few twigs, but most of it is because of the rain. It's wet.
I'll throw the wheel in, I guess.
That's very
good. Yeah. Now using. Oh wait, what?
I'm looking for firewood, but I'm not having much success.
I thought you said use the wheel.
Yeah, but it's very.
I'm going to throw the wheel in.
If I use firebolt instead of us using a tinderbox, would that help?
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I was thinking. I would light it with firebolt.
Yeah, in that case, yeah, that works for sure. Magical fire is always.
Either of us need to roll?
No. It's a cantrip. So you just hold out your hand, flame shoots forth, and the wheel starts burning.
Nice. Would the makeup on my skin have run?
Yeah,
it is raining.
Probably, yeah. Over the course of the day, it would have been mostly wiped off. It's like a smear of makeup now on your face.
Okay, upon seeing this, I'm going to say, You might want to touch up your makeup, and I'll dig in my backpack and pull out a small steel mirror.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Well, no point right now. No one's around. So I'll
Fair
just
enough.
wipe off what's left.
I'm going to start setting up my tent.
All right. And in that, just as you're doing that, Eric lands outside of the camp, scaring you a bit as this figure just whoosh, he lands in the mud, basically, out of the darkness.
And I'll relay that information that I gleaned from the tracks that we've caught up about half a day's worth of travel.
Okay.
Well, good. Sounds like we made the right decision. There's no way we could have caught them if we were traveling with tired horses in the dark.
Yeah, it doesn't get too dark in the forest, I think.
I mean, I think you and I have... You're a wood elf, right? So you would have dark vision.
Yes, of course, that's why I think it doesn't get too dark.
Yeah. So we could see fine, but the others, not so much.
So we're just going to sleep here tonight, and we're not going to set up a patrol or anything. I mean, we're just in the middle of the forest, so...
We should probably set up watches.
Yeah, certainly.
There's 4 of us, and we're planning on sleeping, like, 8 hours? Each of us could take, like, 2-hour shifts.
You also have
I'll take the...
Yeah, I
I'll
need
take
less
the
sleep.
first watch for everyone. I got to set up my tent anyway.
Okay. So Zankara takes first watch. Who wants to take second?
I'll take second.
Okay.
I chime in and I say,
Wake me up in 6 hours.
Okay.
So,
Then I suppose I take last watch.
Excellent. Okay, so and you want to get up like after about 8 hours, basically. So that would be at around like 4 o'clock in the morning.
oh, okay, maybe not.
I would be up for leaving early, actually.
yeah, let's do that.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Sun comes up at around 6:30. But yeah, you can obviously get up earlier than that. You're going to bed fairly early too.
I mean, let's get up at sunrise, I think. So maybe 6:30 would be better.
Why not get up when we're rested? I mean, we're gonna catch them sooner, especially if we leave before sunrise.
That's true.
All right.
Plus, we have enough people who can see well, even if it's not that bright.
Yeah, well, horses can't see in the dark. That's more of the problem.
Well, I'll cast light. I have a cantrip. So
And I have a I have a bullseye lantern, which should help greatly.
that also helps a lot. Yes, indeed.
and we're not
I'll
going to catch them
clarify
in the
in my
first
hand,
2
if needs
hours.
be.
Yeah, we're not going to catch them in the first 2 hours of travel anyway, so
That's true.
that won't give us away.
Okay, so you rest for the night. The forest around you is fairly quiet, except for the sort of pattering of the rain and the slow movements of the trees. A few leaves falling down and landing close to the fire. You eventually have to sort of take up new pieces of wood and add it to the fire using firebolt again to light them up. But the night passes without any incident as one of you after the other takes his watch, staring out into the darkness and the rain. And in fact, just before sunrise, so just as you're getting ready to leave camp, the rain stops. There's still like a few drops falling, but the actual rain has stopped.
At this point, I'll ask to have the mirror back and then reapply the makeup.
Okay, so in the firelight, you give a quick...
In the firelight. Well, I have dark vision as well.
Yeah, but dark vision is not as good as like vision in bright places. With dark vision, you can
That's
only
true.
see as well as a human in like dim light. So everything's
cast-
blurry a bit.
I'll cast dim light around him, so that dancing lights around him, so that there are several lights around him.
It's like a studio, like a professional studio where you can change.
Video.
Okay, cool.
So another dex check.
Yes, exactly. You're another dex check with your proficiency for. I'm assuming you're proficient with the disguise.
Yes, I added it before. So that'd be 19.
Yeah, easy, no problem. Just takes you like 2 to 3 minutes to apply. It's just a few, like, it's not like your whole face is scaly. It's just in a few patches, there's like a little bit of scales shimmering through, and you cover them up. You've been doing that a lot, so you're fairly proficient with that already.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll pass the mirror back once I'm done.
Put it away along with my dragon plushie, my gift from my parents.
All right. You grab your horses. They still a little tired, but you can get them going. Although you probably don't think they'll they would not. They'll survive another day of hard riding, but you probably won't get one out of them before they start slowing down quite significantly. These are not high quality horses, except for maybe Nuvian's horse, which is a bit higher quality. That you might be able to get another day's of hard riding out of it, but the other two, the farmer's horses that you bought, aren't used to that sort of thing. They don't have the
Why don't we just ride at a normal pace?
Oh, I'm sure we can push them. It wouldn't be a problem, would it? I mean, they are horses after all.
Yeah, well, horses feel pain and fatigue just like we do.
I suppose that's true. What do you think, Alucard? All right, we'll trust their judgment then.
Okay. So you're lighting light, right? So one of you is casting light, and the other one is using his her hooded lantern.
Yeah, I'm holding flames.
No, it's a bullseye lantern actually.
Bullseye lantern. Sorry, yeah.
And I'll actually ride in front so that we get the most out of the light, and I don't affect the people with dark vision.
Okay, so you're riding in front, and I'm guessing, Eric, you're flying somewhere up ahead, or
yeah, I will have casted light on probably like the horse's bridle or something, so it's kind of just lighting up its vision so it can see. And then yeah, I'm going to be flying up above, so I can't really see super well, but
oh yeah, you don't have that. Well, I mean, there's not that much stuff you can bump into in the sky, so
yeah.
Luckily. And you can see the light underneath you. So do you want to fly sort of right above the group, or are you flying behind a bit or ahead? What's the situation?
While it's still dark, I'm going to be flying right above them. Okay. But once the sun rises and I can see again, I am going to try and fly a little bit ahead of them if I can, and keep on scouting.
How much is a little bit? Just like 100 feet or so, or further?
Probably no more than 300 feet.
Okay, about a significant distance. All right, and so we have Zenkara in the front, and who's the second in riding behind her? Malark or Nuvian?
Probably me, because I can see well in the dark anyway, so I can help guide the group.
Okay, which means Malark is the last one in the little chain of horses, so to speak. Okay, very well. You ride through the forest, and it is very quiet during the night, and then as the sun rises, it starts coming alive a little bit. There's a few sounds in the brushes, small animals are skittering around. You are making good headway. The horses are not as fresh as you would like them to be, but they can still be ridden fairly okay, at least for a couple hours. You think you are catching up fairly rapidly on the caravan, but you'll probably still take you the better part of the day to do so. In fact, it might be pushing it fairly close to the point that they are actually leaving the forest, from what you can gather. You have like short breaks every now and then, every like maybe 2 hours or so, to grab a little bit of food and give the horses some rest. And Eric is flying up ahead a little bit. And Eric, at around maybe late morning or so, just before noon, who are flying ahead catch sight of a few flashes of light ahead. Looks like sunlight glinting on metal a couple 100 yards in front of you, just like covered up by the trees a bit.
All right, I'm going to hang back a little bit, and once somebody below gets within 120 feet, I'm going to cast message and whisper to whoever it is, and I'm going to say...
That would be Zenkara.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to say...
It looks like we might have caught up to him. I saw a flash of metal ahead.
I'm going to hold up my hand signal everyone to slow down a little bit, and I'm gonna turn and say, our eyes in the sky inform me that we seem to have caught up with them.
How far ahead are they?
How far ahead are they?
How far ahead are they?
How far ahead are they? Oh, sorry. So a couple hundred, maybe 300-400 yards from your position, Eric, that is. So
Okay.
maybe like 350, another 50 yards further for the group or so.
Okay, yeah, I relay that information to everybody.
But we're like, are we near anything right now?
No, not as far as you can tell. The forest is still stretching away into the distance.
So we can continue catching up slowly.
Just so you are aware, I'm going to be flying a lot lower now and closer to the group.
Okay. While you're watching, by the way, there's a few glints more, and they seem to be coming from the same spot. So whatever you're seeing doesn't seem to be moving away from you.
Okay, yeah, then I'm going to message Zenkara again and tell her that.
Our friend says that they're not moving away. Maybe they're taking a short break.
Huh. That'd be useful.
Actually, you know what? After I do realize that they're not moving, I'm going to fly low and I'm going to actually land, and I'm going to see if I can kind of sneak up from them, not from the trail, but from the side.
Through the forest, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Just
sure.
get within like maybe, so I can see them. So hopefully they can't see me, but I can see them.
Yeah,
Do you tell us that you're about to do this?
Nope, I don't.
Fair enough.
The forest isn't particularly thick here. I mean, it would be, but most of the leaves are gone. So there's not as much cover as you might like. Nonetheless, you can obviously try approaching, sort of flanking around and trying to get to that spot.
Coming from a space where they probably wouldn't be looking because I'm not coming from the trail.
Which direction do you want to be coming from? So basically, your group is east of, so the trail goes east to west, and the whatever you saw is somewhere here, and your group's there. So, like, what direction do you want to be coming from? If this is this north, obviously.
Probably from the north.
Okay, so you're sort of landing and flanking around.
Yeah, so I'm going out wide and coming in from the side.
Okay, give me a stealth check, please.
Stealth check was a 22.
Wow, you don't have disadvantage or anything, like no heavy armor or anything like that. Nope. No. Okay, so you push your way with surprising ease, mimicking an owl or something, or one of the other forest birds, through the brush, sort of hopping over and using the cover of the trees, and until you're about maybe 50, 60 feet away from the road. And you can see what looks to be 2 wagons standing not quite next to each other, with maybe about 25, 30 feet in between them. And both of them are, it looks like they've been burned or something. The sort of linen that covers the top of the wagons is blackened. And you see what looks to be several dead horses on the road, like still tied to the wagons.
Do I see any kind of movement at all?
You do, in fact. You see 2 figures wearing chainmail, standing a bit off to the side, seeming to be locked in a very fierce discussion. They're both wearing sort of white cloaks with some sort of golden symbol at the back that you can't quite make out. And one of them is sort of gesturing towards the western side of the road, and the other one's just shaking its head. They are both holding on the reins of horses, 1 horse each. And you see there is a 3rd figure on horseback, actually, that's a bit to your left, so it's sort of close towards your companions, that seems to be having an eye on the road, just staring over to the east, basically, staring east. The other 2, this one's also dressed in chainmail, has this white cloak on its back.
Okay, so after scouting that out, I'm going to quietly slip away and head back towards my group.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to land in the midst of them and relay all that information and say,
I think we should maybe flank from the side. It seems like they're keeping a pretty good watch this way.
Do you relay all the information that you found?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And then I say that.
Well, if you think it's best, I suppose I will follow your lead on this.
All right.
I agree. Do you know what they were talking about? No. Not.
No, I didn't dare get close enough to hear them.
Well, how should we do the flanking? I'm gonna get my bow out.
Maybe 2 of us to the north, 2 of us to the south.
Sounds good to me.
I will take
30 of us.
What was that? Come again?
I'll take the south.
Okay.
Who of
Once
us is the least stealthy? Who of us is the worst at, rummaging through forests?
My guess would probably be Zenkara.
I'm fairly good at stealthing growing up in the cities and all.
Okay. Well, I know I have a +6 to my stealth.
I'm a
Says
+4.
Looking at its character sheet.
I have a +4, so.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take Malak in that case. I'm going to go with him, and I'm going to cast invisibility on him so that he's stealthier. Assuming that he's the least stealthy of us then.
Malark, you said?
Malak, yeah?
Okay, Malark, you are invisible now.
If you allow it.
Nicholas, you're there? Hello?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I had my mic off. But no, I'm actually really stealthy. I've got a +6.
Oh,
Okay.
fair enough.
So I'm probably one of the least stealthy with a plus, but I still have a +4, so.
So if you want to give invisibility to anyone, it should be her.
Well, yeah, fair enough. Have invisibility, because why not?
Yeah, I'm going to be taking the south route anyway, so.
Okay. So Sankara goes south and is invisible for, I think, 10 minutes, right? Or something like that? Is that how long it lasts?
Give me a second. Invisibility is an hour
Oh,
maximum.
an hour. No, it flies 10 minutes. I always mix those two up.
Yeah, but it's a concentration, so I have to concentrate on that now.
Yep, okay, sure. So who wants to go south with Sankara, with the invisible Sankara?
Actually, I was thinking about it, and I think I'm going to go from above.
I'll go with her. Why not?
Okay.
All right,
Sankara and Nuvian goes south. Malark, do you want to go north then, alone?
I'll go north.
Okay. And Eric, you are coming from up top, you said.
Yeah, from the sky.
Okay, so all of you give me stealth checks then. With 2 of you have the whole southern...
How much does invisibility help me?
It gives you advantage on the stealth check.
Okay, nice.
Can I have advantage from coming from the sky?
Yeah, I'd give you that. You're not looking up.
Yeah, unfortunately I only rolled what?
You also have advantage, by the way.
7.
You have the Cloak of Elvenkind.
Yeah, I know, but I rolled 2 6s. That gives me an 8 total.
Oh, that is not good. Sorry.
Is it
what-
bad enough that I noticed me stumbling through trees and such?
So, Sankara, what did you have?
And you're a wood elf, too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a social wood elf.
I got a 17, so.
that's excellent.
I've got
Mark?
a 22.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
Eric?
I got a 22 as well.
Oh my God. Okay. So you're all sort of coming in, and you see now this caravan, basically, as I said, 2 wagons, slightly burnt with several dead horses. And you can now also see something that your companion, Eric, has not noticed before. There seems to be several dead bodies lying next to each other on the side of the road, just sort of in between the trees. But there are 2 men and a woman, in fact, all humans, all dressed in chainmail armor with white cloaks. One of the men, a blonde guy with curly hair, fairly young, is sitting on his horse that seems a little skittish, and he's keeping an eye eastward, basically, at the road that you came from. I assume you tied your horses somewhere to a tree or something before you ventured into the forest.
Yeah.
The other two, a man and a woman, both a little older, like in their early to mid 30s, are still talking quietly amongst each other. They seem to be arguing or discussing something, course of action or something.
Do I recognize any of the bodies?
You don't get a good look at them, but you do see that at least several of them are fairly heavily armored.
All right. Can I look at the cloaks to see if I could find the symbol?
You do see the cloaks of the three that are here. They do have the golden sun symbol of Palor at the back of their cloaks.
So can I see? Well, actually, it's probably difficult, but I'll try to send a message to Eric.
You'd have to roll a really good perception check to do that. I don't know if you can even. She had like he had like a 22 or something on stealth, or 23.
Yeah, it was a 22.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
if I roll like a 19 plus, I can do it.
Yeah, exactly. So roll if you want. See if you can find the other. Yeah, no idea. Anyway, but as you are searching the sky, you hear a loud snapping sound, and you look up. And the guards, although those three soldiers, also stop talking, and they all look in the same direction. And Nuvian, they look exactly at you, and you're like, "Shit, am I not?" And then you see one of the guards, the one on horseback, drawing a short sword and pointing at you, and say, "You, there's, hiding in the bushes. Come out immediately!" And the other two, grabbing crossbows that were lying on the ground, and sort of also pointing them at you.
All right, I'm going to real quick. I'm probably. Can we say I'm within 30 feet of one of them, like the two?
You would be about 30 feet.
Yeah, I'm diving down out of the sky, and I'm currently pointing at the one on the left, and I'm going to cast True Strike. So I'm going to get advantage on that.
Attacking the guy or the woman?
Let's do the guy.
Okay. So you're swooping down with a surprise attack and smacking in. Go for it. That's an attack with advantage. Actually, no, not with advantage. They're not surprised. They know that someone's out there.
Well, I wanted to before I attacked, I wanted to use the cantrip True Strike.
Well, the True Strike is an action, so it will take you 6 seconds to prepare that and then swoop down. You can do that, of course, but
that's what I wanted to do. Yeah.
Okay. So Nuvian, what are you doing? There, you have two crossbows and a short sword pointed at you. You're muted also if you're talking. We can't hear you.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking as well.
Come on! Well, we can see you. Step off immediately.
I'm going to cast a minor illusion of me standing exactly where I am standing while I actually...
illusion is not really good enough to make like a whole humanoid shape. It's more for small things like a shadow or noise and such. You can't really make like a perfect double of you.
In that case, can I use major image? Because why not?
Oh, for that you can definitely do that, yeah.
Yes, that's on my spell list too. And can I try to? It's still kind of undergrowthy around here.
Yeah. There's not many leaves because most of the leaves have fallen, but there's still like branches and stuff in the way.
So can I try my wood elfy hidiness?
Yeah.
While my image of me walks straight forward.
Reroll stealth check. As so you create an image of yourself that moves forward, basically, right?
Yeah, that like has his bow up and sorry, don't mean to startle you. I'm just hunting here. Well, I'm hiding with a quite better 18.
Okay, they are following your image, and at that moment, Eric strikes from the sky.
Okay, so advantage.
With advantage because you have 2 strike.
That's 23 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
And that's going to be...
What are you attacking with? The maul?
The maul, yeah. I pull the maul off of my back and swoop down.
Swooping down and smack into him, landing on the guy.
Let's see. Okay, so that's going to be a 4 and a 3. So it's 7 plus 4. That's 11 points of damage.
Okay. So you swoop in, and you smack your maul into his side. He stumbles back and basically is flung against a tree and barely keeps himself up. You heard his neck nearly snap. It was a pretty bad sound. And he's like, clutching the side of his head now, where you struck him with your maul.
Well, now that we're doing this...
now we have initiative. Malark, you're up first. What do you wish to do?
So I'm first going to use one of my meta magic options.
Yeah, okay.
So let me look at exactly what it is. So I'm going to first use a quicken spell.
Okay.
For 2 sorcery points to cast Scorching Ray as a burning action. Or not burning action, burning damage, blah, blah, blah. Bonus action.
Yeah. So that's 3 rays of fire coming from the forest.
Yeah. Would I hit them with advantage at all since I stayed hidden throughout all of this?
No, they are not surprised because they know that there's enemies nearby. You only get advantage if they're like completely not on guard at all, which they were not because they spotted some of your companions. So you want to aim like 1 ray at each of them or focus on any of them?
I'm going to go 1 at each.
Okay. Roll.
Roll 1 roll per ray.
Yeah, so you do 1 roll against the injured man, you do 1 roll against the female soldier, and you do 1 roll against the young guy who's on horseback a little down the road.
Okay, right. So first at the injured dude.
Yep.
That's 24.
Yeah, it's just barely.
So that's 2d6 fire.
Yeah, indeed.
9 damage.
So as he's flying against a tree, struggling to stand back up, clutching the side of his neck, a flame just burns his face. And he falls. His face burnt and dead.
Okay, woman is next. Not so good. 12.
No, she actually sees where the flame is coming from as it burns her companion right next to her, ducks under, still clutching her her crossbow, and the flame shoots over her head.
And the third one. Much better. That's 23.
Hits as well, for sure.
This time for 8.
Okay, yeah, he like clutching shield and reins in one hand, short sword in the other. He is hit in the side, shouts in pain as his horse goes up, afraid, panicked by the fire, and he actually managed to cling on, still holding on to the horse, not falling off. Anything else you'd like to do, Malark? You still have a action and your movement.
So for this spell, I'm going to do the twinned option. I'm going to do a twinned fireball.
A fireball? You mean?
Fireball.
You cannot twin fireball. You can only twin spells that can only affect one character, one creature. Any AoE spells cannot be twinned.
Oh, I thought it only hit 1. Let me look at it.
Firebolt or fireball? Because fireball has 30 feet range. Firebolt only hits 1, yeah.
Okay.
Not sure. You mean the cantrip, right?
No, I meant the spell. But you know what?
The third level spell.
I'll save the
fireball.
sorcery points.
Yeah, that's...
Going to put a fireball between them in that case.
You would also be hitting Eric, who's standing right next to the woman.
Oh, never mind. Then I'll twin a firebolt.
Yep, that you can do. That costs you, I think, 1 sorcery point because it is a cantrip.
1 point. So I've used 3 total.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So 2 firebolts, 1 on each of the guards.
So 1 at the woman for 22.
Hits.
It's a D10.
Yep.
7.
Okay.
The second bolt, it's a 9, so that's going to miss.
Yeah, he managed to catch it with his shield, the young soldier on horseback. But he already looks fairly injured. All right, do you want to move at all?
I'll stay where I'm at.
Okay. Eric, you're up next. You see the one that you struck having his face burned off. The woman being hit but not killed. She stumbles up, still holding her crossbow in her hand, right next to you.
All right, I'm just going to turn towards her and grip my maul in my 2 hands and take a swing.
Okay, go for it.
That's going to be a 22 to hit.
Easily hits, yeah.
And it's going to be... Oh, maximum damage.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's going to be...
You swing,
16.
you hit her in the chest, ribs break, cave in, and
I'm trying... just to be clear, non-lethal. I don't want to kill her. But I did do max damage, so yeah, I accidentally killed her.
Technically, you have to sort of say that before...
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We'll save the other one.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, let's keep him alive.
Yeah, so she flies through the air, broken bones, and lands on the ground dead. You still have your bonus action and your movement if you want to do anything.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fly. Actually, let me check something real quick. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna take a few steps, running, jump, and fly in the air and fly towards the other guy.
What's your
on the 50?
Yeah, you can reach him. He was about 40 feet maybe away from you or so.
All right, yeah, and I'll just be like almost right to him, still in the act of flying as I end my movement.
Nubian, next turn is yours. What do you want to do?
Was muted again.
I never got to go.
Sorry?
I never got to go.
Yeah, you're last in the initiative order.
Oh, you just said a new initiative, though.
No, Nuvian.
Nuvian. That's in the name of the
That's my name.
character.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing a new initiative. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, if there's only a guy with his horse left, if I'm understanding it correctly, I'm gonna
already
cast.
Really heavily injured too.
Yeah, I'm going to cast Sleep, which I assume puts the horse to sleep first, but yeah, we'll see.
No, horse has way more hit points than him. You are seriously overestimating him.
Yeah, and anyway, I try to make it so that I don't hit Urk, but you know, it's a sleep spell and there's no other dangers. I don't mind too much.
Okay. So what is the range and sleep?
The range is 90 feet, and it's a 20-foot burst.
Yeah, you can easily get that. Okay, so roll the dice.
Yeah.
Hey, at least if it hits me, I'm okay.
25 hit points worth of.
Okay, so that actually could get the horse as well. I think it might actually get both of them. 25. Let's see, what's the hit points on a horse? Where is it? 13. Yeah, it gets both of them. So both him and the horse just slump to the side. He falls to the left. The horse falls onto the right. Just both like on the road. And with that, combat is over.
Woohoo!
Wow.
That was useful.
I'm gonna make my way over. I'm still invisible, so I'm gonna invisibly make my way over to
you're not invisible anymore.
To the dead bodies. As long as you haven't passed another spell that needs concentration, I should be.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I kind of need my major image to pretend.
Your image is concentration.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
You are no
I
longer.
think that's still walking towards saying he's not threatening and everything,
Yeah, exactly.
and I wink him out of
It's
existence.
It's walking through across the road now, basically. Okay, so I assume you all sort of shuffle out of the room of the forest, meeting on the road.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over to the dead bodies actually, and I'm gonna take a look at those.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I guess she can search one. I'll search the other.
There are in total, so not counting the 2 armored figures that you killed, the man and the woman, there were already 6 dead bodies there that you can see. They look like someone placed them next to each other on the side of the road amongst the trees. You can see 2 of the bodies. 4 of the bodies of those 7. Sorry, 7. Did I say 6? I meant 7 dead bodies. So 4 of those 7 dead bodies look very similar to the 2 that you killed. They have these sort of chainmail armor and the white cloaks. However, their white cloaks are blackened and singed. And one is a large, heavily armored man in some sort of like splint mail or something, who is extremely pale, his eyes open wide and his mouth sort of lolling open. He looks like this sort of. And then there is one that is dressed in the robes of a acolyte of Pelor, like the good Derek that you have met in the temple a few days ago. And then there's another guy also dressed in a robe, and a slightly older guy, but his robe is much finer, of much finer make, with like golden and silver threads running through the robe. And he has what looks to be a hole in the center of his chest, as if something fairly hot went through there, basically burning most of his chest out.
Is there a robe somewhere that I could salvage?
One of the priest robes, you mean?
Yes.
Nothing that's undamaged. There are a few, like you might be able to find the robe that is like slightly damaged, but nothing that is new, so to speak.
Well, there was that one guy.
There's two wagons still standing.
That one guy who took a scorching ray to the face.
Yeah, but he was not wearing a robe. He was wearing a cloak, one of those sort of soldier cloaks. But you can take that. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. He's not, that one's not damaged. Okay. So you have a white cloak with like a golden sun symbol on the back now.
Do any of these guys have a sigil ring?
No sigil rings, no. But you do see several amulets and symbols of Pelor on their forms.
Okay.
I'll take one of those as well.
Yeah, I'll take one of those.
Okay. The one of the finely dressed man, the older man, looks like it's made of pure gold, actually. It's about this size, an amulet that seems to be made of pure gold. I'll pocket that one. Okay. Probably worth at least 100 gold, maybe more, I'd say.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
So, this whole time, I'm just watching them all kind of looting these bodies, and I'm like,
all right, are we ready to question this guy yet?
What about the other bodies that aren't with Pelor, essentially?
Which other bodies?
You said there were like 7 of them, and that 3 of them were...
So 7 bodies on the side of the road. 4 looked like they were guards or soldiers. One looked like some sort of knight or some sort of maybe sellsword or something, heavily armored anyway. And then there was one young priest and what looks to be an older priest or something, some kind.
Oh, okay, so none that we recognize.
No, you do not recognize any of them. You recognize like their garment, their armor and such, but no faces that you recognize.
Last thing I'd like to do as I'm looking over, especially this knight character, I'm going to cast Detect Magic and see if they're wearing anything magical.
Okay. You do not detect anything magical on them. However, there is a still very visible sense of magic in the air. There's remnants of spells, fairly strong ones, that must have been cast here not that long ago. You do sense both evocation and illusion magic in the air.
Okay. Interesting.
Probably the fire I slung all over the place.
I don't know. I think this is something else. It feels earlier than that, I'd say. And just so you know, since I've cast a first level spell, at any random time you can decide that before my next rest, I think it is.
Oh, that is true. You are a wild magic sorcerer. I forgot.
Oh yeah, so am I. I forgot. Sorry.
You're telling me. But doesn't that only trigger when you have when you use your chaos? What is it called?
That can be if I use that can happen anytime. It says starting when you choose this origin at first level, your spellcasting can unleash surges of untamable magic immediately after you cast a sorcerer spell of first level or higher. The DM can have you roll a d20. If you roll a 1 on the wild magic surge table.
Perfect. No, it's good to know. No, you're not under any stress at the moment, so I won't be triggering that. But thank you for reminding me. So,
same here actually. So.
Yeah.
That's completely uncontrollable. So,
So while those guys have been looting these bodies, I've pulled out some rope out of my pack and I've been tying up this guy who's sleeping.
Okay. Sure.
And I look over.
Are we ready? I can.
The other horses, by the way, ran off when fire was flung around.
Okay.
But they just disappeared down the road.
Makes sense.
Except for the sleeping one.
Yeah, the sleeping one is still there, obviously. Okay.
Hey, we got Eric a horse.
Slowly but surely, this young man, this sort of blonde fella, is waking up. His eyelids are fluttering, and he's sort of opening his eyes.
I'm gonna slap him awake.
What? What happened? Who are you? Wait.
We'll be the ones
I'm going to cast.
questions. Thank you very much.
You killed Cyric and Aldrina. What? Are you the ones responsible for this then?
So I'm going to try making an intimidation check.
Okay, so what do you want to do?
Yes, you will be next if you don't start talking now.
Okay.
That's 19.
Okay, yeah, he goes pretty pale in the face, even paler than he already was. No, please spare me. I didn't do anything to you. I'll tell you whatever you want to know.
Right. Good. So what are you doing out here, first of all?
Inquisitor Bram sent us to check upon the caravan, Inquisitor Gavrila's caravan. We were expecting it. It was overdue. So we were to ride into the forest and see what the holdup was, and that's all.
May I ask about the contents of this caravan?
I didn't really know. I think the Inquisitor was bringing some enemies of the light to the fortress. But I'm just a soldier. I'm not really told these things, you know.
Sorcerers, perhaps?
Possibly. I don't know.
Is one of those Gavrilo?
I point
Yes.
towards the dead bodies.
The old man with the fine robes. That's the Inquisitor.
And you found him here like this?
No. We arrived only about half an hour ago or so. They were just flung around, strewn across around the road, and we don't really know what happened. We just pulled them aside.
Where was this caravan supposed to be heading?
To Sevenstein Fortress. About a 4 hours ride or so from here. The edge of the forest. He sort of nods towards the west.
Anything else you guys want to ask?
Nah, not really.
Please, I told you what you wanted to know. You won't hurt me, will you? I didn't do anything to you.
I'm gonna smash him in the head with my maul.
I just following order. He falls to the side. Skull caved in.
Sorry about that. He was just gonna go report about us, right?
That's fair.
Maybe so, but he didn't deserve that. I feel.
We don't want to become like them.
Well, sorry, I guess.
Nah. Oh well, what's done is done. I'm going to try to look around if there are any probably solitary tracks leading away from that group.
Okay, sure. Give me a survival check.
That's a 13, I think. 13, yeah.
Okay. Yes, there are tracks of, you think, 3 or 4 horses that seem to be leading northwest into the forest.
Hey, I found some tracks here. Looks promising.
There's also tracks of one individual that seemed to be walking with the horses. Fairly heavy individual, but not particularly tall. Maybe a halfling or dwarf or something. You're not sure.
Huh. Well, I assume these are the only tracks I find.
Well, except for yours and
Yeah, of course.
I mean, there's tracks everywhere, but these are the most distinct ones.
Well, I'd certainly suggest following those. I mean, if this is what it looks like, which is, like the professor escaping with a couple of his students, then we can find some answers there. And if it's something else, we can probably find the answers there too.
With my detect magic, can I sense if the magic is coming from that trail or like the magic in the air?
No, the magic is mostly just like scattered around. It's remnants of spells, you would say, but you don't detect any specific like from or anything like that. It's not strong enough for that. It's just, as I said, they're remnants of spells.
Okay.
Just like, yeah, it's magic that's sort of left over.
Okay. Would an Arcana check help at all? Like to
Could.
Okay, I guess I'll give an Arcana check if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Nat 20 again.
Wow. Okay, so sensing into the air around you, closing your eyes for a bit, you sense that the magic here must have been cast maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago or so. And you sense 3 distinct signatures. It looks like several people cast spells here. Sometimes when you're really well connected with the magic around you, like you are in this very moment, you can actually sense like a signature on spells. Like each wizard's or sorcerer's spell feels a little different. None of those spells feel like they were cast by the professor. You know his signature. One of those one of the signatures has like an undertone of illusionary magic. One has an undertone of evocation magic, and one has an undertone of abjuration magic. And there's also something else in the air, something that you can't quite discern. It is very, very faint. You're surprised that you even picked it up. It's like there's an absence of something that should be here. It's like something hollow. It feels hollow to you. It's also a remnant of something. You're not quite sure what that means.
Okay, so I'm kind of like wandering around, sniffing the air, like waving my arms around a little bit as I'm getting all this, and I come out of my trance and I relay this information that it doesn't feel like the professor's magic has been here at all, and but there's something hollow in the air with this illusion and aberration magic, and like this doesn't feel, something about it doesn't feel right though. Like there's something missing, but I can't quite figure out what that is.
Well, I still
Right,
think
so-
it's kind of the best track we have to follow these tracks.
Let's keep going.
All right.
Agreed.
All right.
So
So
should we like, dump the bodies in a mass grave and then just keep going?
I don't feel the need to do that.
Yeah, neither do I.
Well, these were servants of Palor. Perhaps we should give them a proper burial for the sake of the gods, if nothing else.
These were servants of Palia that, kind of abducted and wanted to, I don't know what, with our friends. I don't particularly feel the need to do anything for them.
I agree. They did try to kill us.
I mean,
Yeah.
to talk about cleansing, I mean, I don't put much stock in Palor anyway.
Yes, that is obvious.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty sure cleanse is a euphemism for kill.
yeah, I mean, I'll do, kind of the shorthand version, like close their eyes and put them on their back or something, but nothing more elaborate than that.
Okay.
Well then, let us proceed into the forest and see if we can find something, because I do not believe it will be our friends.
Well, we can hope.
Well, maybe they were ambushed by somebody. The way they've been going around, I'm sure they didn't make a lot of friends within our kind.
Well, it could. You never know. It could be that rogue group of sorcerers who attacked the Baron in the first place.
Yeah, but what are the chances?
Yes.
So you're following the tracks into the forest. What kind of marching order do you guys have? Are you using your horses, or are you on foot?
Use the horses, but
Yeah, the horses won't be able to like ride very fast in the forest. You wouldn't be much.
I'll probably be leading my horse because I'll have to check where the tracks go and such.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
I'm just gonna fly just right above the tree line so I can still see everybody.
Okay. So that means Nuvian is up first, and Eric is in the air, and then Malark and Sankara are sort of behind Nuvian as he's following the trail. All right, excellent. So, guys, we'll have a short break here, just 3 minutes or so. People can go to the bathroom, grab some water if needed, and we will be right back as we are approaching the final part of this adventure and see what secrets we'll find.
how much time?
3-4 minutes, just a few minutes, basically.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, I'll see you in a couple moments. Let me know if you guys are back, by the way.
I'm here.
I'm back.
Cool. So we're just waiting for Nicholas and AJ.
Sorry, just like one more minute and then I'll be good.
No worries.
Oh yeah, Alex, because you said earlier with the wild magic stuff happening,
Yeah.
it can happen randomly whenever we cast a spell. But if we use that chaos ability and kind of that's on cooldown and needs to refresh, you can just say whenever we cast a spell, okay, you know what, you don't roll, it just happens, and then
Right,
after that we refresh the ability.
That's right. Yeah, I knew there was some connection there. Okay, thanks. Yeah, it's good to know.
All right, I'm good.
All right. Nick, are you back soon? Nope, doesn't seem like it. Oh, we'll give him another half minute or so.
And just so you're aware, I probably only have like maybe an hour more of time that I can play.
Try speeding it up a bit.
Sorry.
It's okay. I hope you don't have to leave in the middle of the last confrontation, but we'll work it out.
But it would make an awful an awesome heroic sacrifice, you know?
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, so we'll just jump in, and Nick will hopefully come back within the next couple moments.
Speaking of Nick, here I am.
Oh, excellent. So to speed this up because I just heard that AJ doesn't have that much time left. So you followed the trail for about an hour or so through the road, through the forest, and then you come upon a small clearing. You can see it about 50, 60 feet ahead of you. There seems to be a pond there in the center of the clearing, and you can see a couple of horses tied to a tree on the side of the clearing. There also seems to be some sort of cave opening there. And that is where the tracks seem to be leading. Or the horse tracks anyway, obviously.
Are the horses like saddled up normally and such?
Yeah, they have saddlebags and saddles, yes. 3 of the horses seem to be riding horses. 1 looks like a very large, muscular draft horse.
Right, well, I guess we should go in then.
Yeah.
So we've got the lantern.
I have the lantern, so I guess I can go in first.
Okay, so you're stepping out into the clearing and making your way to the cave?
Yeah.
Okay, the cave opening looks fairly large. It's big enough so you can easily step in without having to scoop down or anything.
Anybody want a torch? I have enough.
I'm going to cast light on my maul and just hold it out in front of me.
Okay.
With this amount of light, I think I'll be able to see pretty well. I mean, even the dim light I can see as if it's bright.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But you have bright light now, so it should not be an issue.
I'm gonna cast Produce Flame, see that I'm completely outclassed by the amount of lights the other produce, and gonna let it wink away again.
Okay. So, who wants to step in through the cave first?
I guess I am with my lantern.
Okay.
I'll go second.
as you're crossing the clearing, just give me perception checks, everyone, please.
16.
9.
Okay.
12.
Okay.
I don't think I can't use the surge after I roll, can I?
No, you have to. I think you have to do it.
Yeah. That's usually the roll on those kinds of things. Okay, so
Let me check real quick. There we go. That's Tides of Chaos, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's not actually that clear, but I'm pretty sure it's before the roll. Yeah, you gain advantage. So yeah, you can't. It's not re-rolling. You gain advantage on it. So it would have to be.
Yeah. A grand total of 3 perception.
Okay, so the only thing you notice is the horses look pretty high quality, and the saddlebags and so on are also made of very fine leather. So whoever these horses belong to seems to have quite some decent money.
They are not like decked out in symbols of Palo and such, right?
No, not at all. There's no symbols that you can see on them at all.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I still think either somebody like helped our friends escape, or somebody attacked them and happened to take our friends along. In either case, we should go in.
Okay. Sorry, the Zenkara, you said you want to go first, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm going first.
Okay. And then Malark said second, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So who wants to go third then?
Me.
I'll take up the rear.
Okay. So Eric is in the back. So you enter. Yeah.
Before we go in, I'm going to go ahead and cast Mage Armor upon myself.
Okay. So there's like a very slightly shimmering energy now surrounding your form. You step into the cave, and the cave is just about high enough so you can stand without having to scoop down. It is wide enough for one person, two if they're like really close together, to walk next to each other. And it's the tunnel seems to be slightly curving to the left ahead of you, basically. You take a few steps. And you hear a little bit of water trickling somewhere. Like there's a few drops falling from the ceiling, I suppose. And as you walk around the corner, you see it seems to be opening into some sort of largish room. The room is filled with stalactites and stalagmites coming from both sides, which gives it a slightly fearsome appearance, like some sort of large maw. It's just waiting to clamp down and devour you. The stalactites and stalagmites being slightly hooked teeth made of this grayish-brown rock. Seems to be like a tunnel going further to the left, but that one looks like it's caved in. However, the room continues to the front of you, and from what you can see amongst the stalactites and stalagmites at the back of the room, there seems to be a slight reddish glow of light. You're not quite sure where that's coming from.
I suggest extinguishing our lights.
How bad does that cave-in look?
Pretty bad. Like something you'd need a couple hours probably to fix.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
And does the light, is it like a constant glow, or is it flickering almost like candlelight?
It is not flickering at all. It's a constant sort of deep red glow, but fairly faint.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk over to the cave-in and poke it, because as somebody who uses a lot of illusion magic, I try to walk through, well, at least poke through things to see.
Okay. As you do so, your hand passes through the rock.
Ooh. Yeah, I used that trick a couple of times in the past to escape from angry. Yeah, but that's not important.
And as you stand there, you hear a voice behind you saying, hello? Who's there? Please, help! Sort of slightly echoing through the cavern, coming from somewhere in the direction of that red light.
So I'll try a persuasion check. I'll just say, we come in peace.
Okay. Please, I need help. We are hurt. I think the professor might be dying.
Professor, you say?
Yes, Professor Xander.
Oh, well, if you're hurt, I'll help you. And I'm going to rush down that way.
So I'm going to start booking it over there.
Okay, so both of you run through the stalactites and stalagmites.
I'm just shouting, be careful. Doesn't look all that pretty from here.
So you two run. What is Eric doing while this is happening?
He's not too bright, so he's going to follow as well.
Okay, so the three of you sort of start moving through the room. And what you can see is, the first thing you see there is the source of the red light. It is a large crystal, about maybe the size of a human head, which is hovering in midair, emanating this slight red light. It's hovering just before the back wall of the cave, basically, just in front of it. At the foot of the crystal, there are two figures on the ground, bound and gagged. One of them is a young gnomish woman with short brownish hair, plastered with a little bit of blood and sweat to her skin. And the other one is an old, nearly bald human man in which you recognize Professor Xander. However, the voice comes from the right side, a little off out of the light, and you see there what seems to be a fairly young human man who is also bound but not gagged and sort of leaning against the wall. And he is looking towards you. Please, I think the professor is dying. You must help us.
Can I do an arcana check or anything to see if I can see anything about this crystal?
Sure.
I'll take a dagger out and cut him loose.
Okay. As you approach him with a dagger, his eyes go wide, and he says, "No, don't worry about me. The professor. We don't have much time." He's pointing towards the professor with his head.
Okay, I'll approach the professor and then cut his bonds.
Okay. You roll the Arcana check?
Me?
No,
no.
Then Kara, you rolled an Arcana check. What was your result?
It was an 8.
Okay, so you don't sense anything specific. However, as you are approaching Malark, as you are approaching the professor, you see him sort of looking up, staring at you. You see his thick gag in his mouth, and as you approach, he starts shaking his head.
I'll kneel and cut the gag first.
As you come close to him, there's a pulse of red from the crystal.
Before he can get closer, can I cast Dispel Magic on that crystal?
Too late, I'm afraid.
Okay.
So the crystal pulses, and a red beam of light shoots out and hits you in the chest, Malark. Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Hold on. Wait. Let's see. 6.
You rolled a 6?
6.
Ooh. Okay. So you feel like all the air is taken from your lungs. All of a sudden, like this cold, like hitting, like face first and like belly flapping into a cold pool of water, basically. And you sense that a piece of you is being ripped out and sucked in through this red beam that is connecting you to the crystal. What's your highest level spell slot?
It is 3. I've got 2 of them.
So you lose one of your third level spell slots as the crystal sucks it away from you.
So like as if I'd cast a spell?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so upon seeing this, can I cast a spell on that crystal?
You certainly can.
Spell Magic?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
Roll me a charisma check.
Okay.
As this is happening, I will warn them, don't mess with that crystal.
21 total.
Okay. You shoot out the magic, the dispel spell towards the crystal. It hits the crystal. The red line connecting it to Malark's chest flickers and disappears. And you see the crystal itself sinks down a few inches towards the ground, and the light goes dimmer and nearly goes out. However, it's still active. You get the sense that this, whatever artifact it is, it's not, you basically weakened it temporarily, but you're not strong enough with a simple dispel magic to like destroy it or to remove it completely. And the professor is now trying to
Does it
talk.
seem safe to try again?
Maybe, you're not sure.
Mind if I make an Arcana check to see if I can figure that out?
At the moment, the crystal is not attacking you or whatever it just did. Seems deactivated for the moment, basically.
All right,
It's
well,
deactivated, then I'll try again.
Okay.
To cut him loose.
Yeah, this time you do manage to cut through his bonds, and he seems fairly weakened. It looks like he's been beaten up fairly badly. Not in danger of his life, but yeah, there's like bruises all over his face and body, basically. And he's only wearing like half-torn clothing. He immediately starts taking out his gag, and as soon as he can sort of spit it out and say, "Careful! It's a trap. They meant to lure more of us here." And as he says that, Nuvian, you're still standing in front of the cave-in, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would have probably tried to, like, take the one step forward to look through the illusion, but as soon as there's a commotion starting back there, I'm gonna head back.
Okay,
I
so
do expect the trap after all.
you're moving backwards, and you can see you're the only one who can see what's happening actually, because the man, the bound young man that was sort of to the right and behind the rest of your companions, suddenly shimmers and disappears. And where the man was just a second ago, there now stands a tiefling with purplish skin, dressed in very, very fine clothing, clutching a wand with like a silver symbol with a large eye on top of it. He's grinning, and he waves, does a quick gesture in your direction. You feel a slight something of magic basically shooting past your head, disappearing behind you in the darkness. He doesn't seem to notice you so far, as he is intent upon the three of your companions, who have not noticed him.
I'm gonna shout out a warning in that case. Look,
What do
this
you
guy who warned you about the professor.
Okay.
So I was already suspicious, and I was going to go over there and question the guy, but I never got around to asking you. So I'm going to turn as soon as he says that and look towards the tiefling.
Yep. You see the tiefling standing there, and you can see he's with the one with one hand he's holding the wand, with the other one he's taking off what looks to be some sort of weird green hat or cap, sort of just putting it away in his mantle. He's dressed very finely, and he has two like hooked horns like this protruding from his forehead, a wide toothy grin. And as you see him looking, as he sees you looking towards him, he gives you a small bow. And at the same time, Nuvian, you hear footsteps behind you.
Behind me? Like from behind the cave-in kind of thing.
Yeah. You're not quite sure. They're behind you anyway, from the front.
I'm going to try to duck behind one of them stalactites and...
okay.
Well, I suppose it's going to be ducking behind stalagmites, but... And stealthing.
Yep. The stalagmites are the ones protruding from the bottom.
Yeah.
So that's probably
exactly.
the one.
All right, just so you're...
That's a 21 stealth.
Okay, you just leap to the side. Anyway, go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, just so you're aware, I am going to be casting Elemental Weapon on my maul.
Okay, excellent. You can do that.
So yeah, I'm going to make it a lightning maul.
Okay, so a crackle of electricity fills the air.
And I'm going to expend one of my sorcery points to make it last 2 hours instead of 1.
Okay, sure. The tiefling looks at you as you do that, and he says, "There is no reason for hostilities, my friend."
And I'm stepping towards him menacingly at this point, and I'm going to say,
What did you do to the professor?
I did not do anything. I am not the one that you should be worried about here. Your voice coming from the darkness to your right, male voice saying, "Mirror, silence." And as you look over, you can see two figures stepping into the light. One is an older human with grayish black beard and long hair. He's dressed in a purple robe with silver thread. With the silver thread is forming sort of some sort of magical runes on the robe. And you actually do recognize this robe as one that the professor has been wearing a couple times that you have seen him. It's some sort of protective robe that he was wearing before. And the second figure is a dwarf, a sturdy, brown-haired and bearded, fairly muscular fella, dressed in what looks to be some sort of scale mail armor. He has two large gauntlets on his hands, not quite unlike the ones that you're wearing, in fact. Only his are ending like what looks to be claws or some sort of sharp appendages anyway. And he sort of takes one step closer, and the human stops. And as this is happening, the professor says, "Todor, there is no reason to have them involved. Let them go. They are not your enemies." "On the contrary, Professor, this whole thing is worth only half its worth if I let them go. Your pupils will make a welcome addition to our collection." The professor says to the rest of you, "Be careful. He's a powerful wizard."
This whole time, I've still been walking towards that tiefling, and I'm raising my maul up to smash him.
Do I have time to do something real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I would like, on this tiefling, I'd like to use my heightened spells to make it to where he will have disadvantage against saving throw, and then I'm going to cast Hold Person upon him.
Okay. That's 3 sorcery points, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
All right. That is a fail. He was raising his wand as Eric was approaching, and then he freezes. Eyes go wide, and his grin still sort of plastered onto his face, now frozen. And with that, we are in initiative, and we have the human, Todor, up first. He raises a hand and makes a magical gesture in the air. And whoosh, disappears. Malark, you're up next.
I will cast Crown of Madness on the dwarf.
Oh, nice. That is a wisdom save, is that correct?
That is correct. Let me just look at the specifications. DC 14.
It's a 16. He shakes it off.
6.
The crown that seems to be forming around his head shatters into pieces as his will proves too strong. What would you like to do?
Well, I can't really do much else.
Or you can move. I don't know. You have a bonus action.
I'm better at range, so I'll stay where I'm at.
Okay. Certainly. Eric, you're up next.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to cast Searing Smite, and as I do, you see the electricity swirl with fire. Yeah, I get it as a stone sword.
Oh, okay. In that case.
So now I've got this electrical flaming mace in my hands, maul, really, and I'm casting that at 2nd level, by the way. And I'm going to smash it into this guy's face.
You have advantage since he is paralyzed. And if you hit, it's an automatical critical hit.
All right, with advantage, that's going to be a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, so as a critical, that means I'm going to roll, let me get this right.
A lot of dice.
4d6 plus another 2d4 plus another 4d6. Wow, okay. So that's, what, 8d6 plus 2d4. Oh, but you're going to need fire damage too, though, right? Because he's...
Yes,
tiefling.
Fire damage because he's a tiefling. He's resistant.
Okay, so let's just do... This is going to be the bludgeoning damage first.
Okay.
with 4, that's going to be 4 plus 5, so 18 bludgeoning damage plus another
Okay.
4. So that's 22 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then 2d4 lightning. 3 lightning damage.
Okay.
And then another 9 points of fire damage.
Oof. So halved. Yeah, you smack the full into his face, and there's blood now, like pouring down. He would stumble. You could see his eyes fluttering. That hurt a lot, but he's still standing.
Okay.
Still paralyzed, though. Anything else you'd like to do?
I think that's it.
Cool. Nuvian, you're up next. Still hidden.
Oh, wait, actually, sorry. He needs a con save to see if he lights on fire.
Oh, okay. That is a 12.
Okay, yeah, so he's going to take 1d6 fire damage additional on top of that.
At the start of his turn, though, right? Or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's how it works with on fire. Okay, so his clothing, his fancy clothes, start catching fire as his eyes go wider and wider. That's not how he expected this to go. Okay, Nuvian, you're up next.
Yes, I'm gonna try to remain hidden, and I'm going to cast Phantasmal Force on the dwarf. I'm gonna heighten it as well.
So disadvantage for him?
That's disadvantage on an intelligence save for him.
If you cast a spell, you're not hidden anymore. You are aware of that, right?
Well, I know, but I'm gonna try to be sneaky, probably not successfully, you know. Trying to lurk in the shadows while doing that, you know. So yeah, that's intelligence saves 13 for him with disadvantage.
Okay. He actually succeeds.
Oh.
Even with
Well, I'm
disadvantage.
gonna roll for wild magic anyway.
Yes, you will go roll
but
for that.
nothing happens.
Okay.
Nothing weird.
Excellent. He just shakes his head and looks over to you. Gives you a star.
That would have been so cool.
Crown of Madness would have been good too.
Oh right, the tiefling. Nuvian, would you like to move or anything?
Well, I'm staying in the shadows, you know, away from people that might spot me. That's what I meant with the lurking.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So the tiefling cannot do anything except for trying to shake off the old person spell. And that is a wisdom save, right? Zankara? It's a wisdom save, right?
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, it's wisdom, and it's a DC 14.
That is a 15. He succeeds.
Okay.
He breaks the spell, shaking and bleeding, stumbling and burning. Also, he also takes 1d6 fire damage, which is... Okay, he's not looking good at all. And that is his turn, because that happens at the end of his turn. So he's just standing there, burning and really hurt. He's shouting out, "Todor, help me!" Zankara, your turn.
Okay, one of the enemies went invisible, right?
You don't know what he did, but he's not there anymore anyway. The human who's wearing the professor's robes, he disappeared.
Yeah, the guy with the salt pepper hair.
So, I mean, because if he went invisible, I think that would make the most sense. I'm gonna if they're.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna cast a spell. I'm gonna cast dispel magic on any invisibility within the area.
You have to have a target. If you don't see someone, you can't dispel it, I'm afraid.
It says object or magical effect within the range.
Yes, but you have to see the object or the magical effect. It is a target.
Okay, I understand. All right.
Do you have fairy fire? Because if you do, that would work good.
Yeah, but I'd have to see. I would have to see him to be able to cast that, and I don't have it. I don't have fairy fire on me.
What do you want to do? So you have one angry-looking dwarf and one really heavily injured tiefling. It's also burning.
Awesome.
That sounds ideal.
Yeah. Sounds like a funny thing. I am going to, I think, cast and spell real quick. Okay, yes. Okay, so I'm going to start chanting and such, and I cast Phantasmal Force at the dwarf, and I'm going to make it look like an army of goblins are coming in from behind him.
Okay. As you do that, he raises one of his fists and says, Garak Thar, and shoots a counterspell towards you and dispels that spell.
I speak Dwarvish. Do I understand that at all?
No, it was arcane language, basically. It was
Arcane
Dwarvish.
language, okay.
So
Okay.
you just cast it.
Awesome. Okay. Well, with my movement spell, I'm going to take out my Pearl of Power, and then I'm going to use my bonus action to speak the command word and regain a 3rd level spell slot.
Is that a bonus action?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I mean,
excellent.
yeah, speaking should, yeah.
Yeah, no, speaking is a free action, but is there, like, does the Pearl of Power say use a whatever action?
I'm pretty sure it's a bonus action. Let me check.
It just says speak a command word to get it to activate, so.
Yeah, it usually should say what it, like.
I use an action. So.
Oh, is it an action?
Okay, so you'll have to do that next turn, I'm afraid.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Okay, so the dwarf, finally, he will smash his gauntlets together and cast a spell on himself. And his whole body starts suddenly vibrating. And he shoots forward super fast, running straight at you, Eric. And as he's running, his gauntlets catch fire. And he leaps to the air and smacks into you and smashing down with one of his gauntlets, smacking into your shoulder. That hits. Ooh, that's not.
Is it? Can you tell me what the roll is? Because I might cast.
It is a 25.
25. Okay. I'm still going to cast it anyway. I'm going to cast Shield on myself.
Yeah. Okay. So you still have five arcanas more to the end until the end of turn. That is going to be 12 points of damage.
Okay.
You don't have resistance to fire or anything, right?
Right.
Okay, then in that case, just 12 points. Yeah, the dwarf has hasted himself, by the way, to attack you. And that is his turn. Oh, also, as he casts a counterspell, you see a bluish aura now flickering around him, like some sort of invisible or only barely visible mantle surrounding him. That happened to cast a counterspell. And we are now at the top of the initiative round with the wizard Todor, who will...
Wherever he may be.
Yeah, wherever he may be, from somewhere to your, sort of behind you or to your right, depending on where you're standing, basically opposite of where the tiefling is, you hear arcane words being mumbled. And you see a vortex of power starting to form in the middle of the chamber as wind is picking up. As he casts Sphere. Let's see. So, 20-foot radius. That will be hitting Malark, Zenkara, and Eric. Yeah, he can lay, and it will also hit Dwarf.
Is there a save involved?
Yes, there is a strength saving throw. A sphere of whirling air springs into existence and starts to just basically push a massive storm wind strong enough to nearly rip the flesh off your bones through the chamber.
I'm going to use my Ties of Chaos to give me advantage on this roll.
Does that work on saving throws?
I believe it does. I'll double check and make sure.
That's a 7 on the save.
That is a fail.
I got a 17.
Okay, that is a success.
Works on saves, yes.
Yeah, it does. Ability check or saving throw or
Alright.
attack roll.
Excellent.
Let's see. 18.
Sorry? 18, you said?
Yes, 18.
Okay, so those of you who succeed take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. The one who failed, I think, takes
Yeah,
12,
that's me.
12 points of bludgeoning damage as the winds buffet you and sort of push you around the room. The dwarf as well save, and he rolled an actual 20, so he's mostly fine. He still takes 6 points.
So at any time now, you can do a wild surge if you want to, or make me do one. Since I used the chaos in that.
Remember that. Thank you. And that was the wizard's turn. We have Malark. You're up next. And this sphere of wind is, by the way, still there. And all of you are now considered to be in difficult terrain while you're under the influence of this storm sphere.
Would there be a way where I could, the fireball, would I be able to catch only the dwarf and the tiefling if I threw it right?
No. You would for sure get Eric as well. Yeah, you could catch just the dwarf, although you're not 100% sure where Nuvian is. So it's kind of tricky for you to aim behind them because you know Nuvian is somewhere in that vicinity, but you're not quite sure where he is because you don't have line of sight to him. There's
So would I have disadvantage to hit him with something?
What do you mean?
But if I tried to hit him, would I get disadvantage on it?
Try to hit who?
The wizard.
You don't exactly know where the wizard is. You could try to aim at him. He's somewhere off to your right. There's no one else there. So if you cast an area of effect there, you might catch him. You sort of have a vague idea of where he is. Attacking him with a aimed attack will not be possible because you don't know where he is. You have to at least know fairly well where he is to attack him.
All right. I guess I will quicken a scorching ray once more.
Okay.
One at the tiefling, two at the dwarf.
All right, go for it.
First one at the tiefling.
Yep, he's already burning anyway.
Say 24. No, 25, I think.
Yeah, hits for sure.
For 3 damage, factoring in his resistance.
He is dead. So he falls to the ground, smoking and still burning. The dwarf just looks down and says, useless! As the tiefling falls.
And now 2 rays are coming at him.
Yeah, go for it.
Nat 20.
Oh, okay. Yep, that hits.
So would that be a crit?
That will be a crit, yeah. So you roll 46 for that.
That is 16 damage for the first ray.
16, okay.
16.
So the blue shield that was around him winks out of his existence, and some of the damage goes through to him.
And then the other one's probably not going to have as much luck. 12.
No, 12 misses.
13.
He still misses. Easily steps aside from that. And he still has his haste spell up.
I've got a regular action.
Yes, you do.
I'll use Burning Hands.
Okay.
I'll have to look that up. I think he makes a dex save, if I'm not mistaken.
It is a dex save. Who are you trying to hit with that?
The dwarf again.
So you have to get closer to him, because Burning Hands is only like 15 feet or something, I think.
It's a 15-foot cone.
Yeah. And yeah, the problem is you're in difficult terrain, so you can only move half your speed.
I can move 15 feet.
Yeah, exactly. So moving 15 feet would get you into range with the dwarf just barely, but you would not be able to aim it in a way that you get only the dwarf and not Eric, because they're standing right next to each other and fighting, basically.
Right. You know what? I'll go with a fireball in the invisible dude's general direction.
Okay. As you go to fling a fireball in that direction, a dispel magic, a counter spell comes shooting out and removes your fireball.
All right.
It's okay.
So I
You're burning
believe-
his counter spells.
You did. All right.
I am
That was
restricted
Nicolas'
to
turn.
first level spells.
Eric, your turn.
All right, I'm going to turn towards the dwarf who just pummeled me with his flaming gauntlet, and I'm going to cast again Searing Smite at second level, and
Okay.
take a swing with my lightning crackling maul.
All right, go for it.
That's going to be a 16 to hit.
No, he's too fast. With the haste spell, he just shoots to the side, and the hammer swishes through the air.
Okay. Then yeah, that's going to be my turn.
All right. Nuvian, your turn. No one seems to be paying too much attention to you at the moment. The tiefling stays.
Just FYI, my Searing Smite does stay on my weapon until I hit.
Yes, I know. I'm aware of that. But thank
Yeah. Tried and true. I'm gonna try it again with Phantasmal Force on the dwarf.
you. Okay.
This time I can't heighten it, so he just gets his in save.
That is a 20, so he succeeds.
Oh, damn it.
He seems to
And
fail
wild
from-
magic does not trigger.
Okay, excellent. Anything else?
Nah, not really.
Okay, the tiefling is dead. Zenkara, your turn. You are also in the sphere of wind, feeling to be being pushed around, basically.
Yeah. If I want to use like the quicken spell for 2 points, does that take an action to do?
No, the quicken spell makes. Wait, the spell? You mean the?
I mean, like the ability. Like if I want to spend two sorcery points to use that this turn, does that take an action, or do I just declare that I'm gonna?
No, you just declare it and remove the sorcery points. It's
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use. I haven't been able to use my Pearl of Power yet, so this is my last third level slot. But I'm going to use that to use Dispel Magic on the dwarf haste.
You have a third level spell slot left. Are you sure?
I have one left. I had to.
So you only cast this spell, right? You didn't cast any other third level.
I only cast one Dispel.
Okay. Okay.
And then
Yeah.
I
In
was
that
going to
well, if you
one back, but I couldn't.
okay, so you dispel the haste. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't need to roll. It's a third level. Haste is a third level spell, so it just happens.
Okay. And then I give up my last 2 sorcery points. So I can use the quicken spell, so I can cast as a bonus action. And I'm going to cast Acid Splash upon this dwarf.
Okay. Does he have to roll something, or do you do your own attack
Yes,
roll?
it's a dexterity saving throw.
It's not his haste is gone, so too bad for that. He fails.
He fails? Okay.
Yeah.
And he takes 4 points of acid damage.
Okay. Yeah, he grunts briefly, but he's more annoyed about the haste spell gone than about the little bit of acid that struck him. Okay. Well, it's the dwarf's turn. No more speed, sadly, so he can only do one attack. He will not, however, do the attack. Instead, he will... give me a second. Something's happening here. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, back. He will instead reach out his flaming gauntlet towards a side of the room, and magic shoots out of his fingers, and it lifts up what looks to be a large rock about the size of a man's head.
after haste ends, they can't move or take actions until
right.
after its next
You're
turn.
correct. That is perfect. Yeah. So he does not do anything this turn. He just stands there, breathing deeply, basically, and angrily. You're correct. Now we have the wizard, who will use his storm sphere that is still in place. And from this sphere of wind, a lightning bolt comes, shoots through the room, and striking into you, Sankara. Give me a... Oh, no, that's a ranged spell attack. That is a 16, so that hits.
I will take my reaction to cast shield.
No, Zankara.
Yeah, I can
Oh, you have
target
shield.
others.
You had shield as well? Oh, wait, you cannot target others? What?
Yeah.
Shield is a self.
Yeah, shield is... Unless you have a special ability to allow you to do so, you can't target other people with shield.
I thought I could. Here, let me look. Yes.
Okay. So, Zankara, you take 23 points of lightning damage. As from the storm sphere, a bolt of lightning
you're right.
comes flying out, hitting you in the chest. Do you get that?
Yeah, 23 points. Ouch.
Okay.
Very
Excellent.
hurt.
And he will also cast Magic Missile. As 3 streams of air, 3 streams of color fly through the room, and they will strike into Eric. 3 of them. Oh no, you don't have a shield spell up anymore, right, Eric? That's
no, I do not, but if it's coming towards me, I will pop it.
Yeah, you see 3 magical missiles shooting out from the darkness coming towards you, but you pop your shield, and all 3 just get absorbed by the shield.
Nice.
All right. That was the wizard's turn. Malark, your turn.
Okay. How am I going to get him? That's the thing. Well, I guess I can't, really. At least not well. I'll fire off some magic missiles of my own at the dwarf.
You can do that. That's just the first level?
Just first level.
Okay, so 3 magic missiles flying through the air, striking into the for now, just unmoving, heavily breathing figure of the dwarf.
I believe that's a ranged spell attack I make for each one?
No, they hit automatically, you just roll damage. And yes, he does have 2 concentration spells up. I'm aware of that.
Okay.
2, 2, and 1. So that's a total of 5.
Plus 1 for each of those.
Oh, so 8.
So it's 8, yeah, 8 damage. Okay. He can do reactions, though, and he will cast a shield spell. To absorb that. So the dwarf is now holding a one flaming gauntlet up, and the blue shield appears, and a little bit of a shield, this magical armor that you saw before, flickers back to life as he casts the shield. Not as strong as it was before, but there is a little bit there. Anything else, Malark?
I can't quicken anything, so...
All right. Eric, your turn then.
Okay, I'm going to use 2 of my spell points to quicken haste.
Oh, shit.
So that's my bonus action. And then I'm going to take 2 full swings with my maul at our good dwarf buddy.
Okay, he has a shield up still, but you can try to break through, obviously.
All right, that's going to be a 25.
Oh, God, yeah. That breaks through the shield for sure.
Okay, so that's going to be the first one, and that's going to be...
You still have the lightning up, right?
Yes.
No, sorry, not the lightning, the smite.
Yes, I do. I have Searing Smite, and I still have the lightning up as well.
All right, go for it.
So the maul is going to do 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
10 points of fire damage,
Yep.
and then 3 points of lightning damage.
Okay. Mighty blow for sure.
And now for my second swing. Roll a natural 19, so that's going to be a 27 to hit.
Oh my god. Okay, sure. His armor class is only 21 at the moment, but you don't give a shit.
All right, so that's going to be 13 plus 13 points of bludgeoning damage, plus another 3 points of lightning damage.
Okay, how do you want to finish this dwarf?
So I just smash him in the side with the first one, and then he kind of bends over as he gets this lightning crackle into his side, and then I'm just going to swing around from the other side, hasted, and just swipe off his head like a golf swing.
Okay, wow. Just cracking through his shield and everything, breaking his hand and his face with one swing. And,
And I'm going to say, 4!
All right. That is your turn, I'm guessing.
And I'm going to actually make my way towards where I think Todor is.
But you're stepping inside the storm sphere then? Inside
Can I fly around it since I'm hasted and I have 50
that's
fly
true.
speed?
Yeah,
so I have 100.
Yeah. Yeah, in that case, you can sort of swoop through past the stalactite and stalagmites and land on the sort of westernmost side of the chamber, basically, somewhere in the sort of twilight area there.
Okay.
Cool. Nuvian, your turn.
So, seeing how everybody else is being useful, can I still roughly tell where the wizard is?
You can tell vaguely where he is, somewhere sort of opposite you in the darkness, but you don't have a lock on him. You now see.
Can I hit an sleep, which is an area effect,
you
on him without hitting? I think Urk just went close to him, right?
Yes, Urk would probably also be hit. Because you don't know exactly where the wizard is, so you sort of have to fill as much space as possible, and Urk would be within that space for sure.
I do still think the usefulness would be worth it. Yeah, I'm gonna do sleep as a 3rd level spell though.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Major Image is gonna do me any good.
A 3rd level spell. Okay, that's how many additional d8s do you get for that?
2d8 per level, so 48 extra makes it 98. I'm rolling.
Okay, go for it. How much health do you have, Urk, by the way?
26.
26? Okay.
That's 17. Ooh, I'm rolling well. 17, 37. That's 41, 42. 49 hit points worth of sleeping.
Holy shit! And that's that goes on to the creature with the lowest health at
with
first.
The lowest health first, the lowest current health.
So Eric, you feel a wave of drowsiness washing over you.
Damn it! Sorry.
Fall
You're
onto the
fine.
ground, asleep.
Okay. And when that happens, I'm considered incapacitated, so my stone skin drops.
Oh yeah. That's
No, I'm sorry. I actually didn't know.
And do you have any
No,
else?
magic.
The electricity is 2 hours, right? So you don't have to concentrate.
Yeah,
on
it stays on for 2 hours.
Okay.
Actually, it is a concentration spell, so that drops.
In
as
that
well.
case, you should have been rolling Constitution saving throws for. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, but now it's gone.
Okay, yeah, I tried to be useful. I failed miserably. I'm sorry.
Okay.
With my move, I'm going to try to move close to Urk.
Okay. Zenkara, you're up next.
So you said we have a general idea of where this guy is, right?
Yes, you are. You do, and you also saw your Aarakocra friend Eric just falling down onto the ground in that same area.
Okay. Well, I'm going to call out into this general area. I'm just going to try and bluff him and say, "We see you, and we still outnumber you. Give up now, and we will allow you to live."
Okay. Give me a deception check. With disadvantage.
Fair enough. I have no idea where that dice went, so I'll roll another one. Oh, they were both 16, so that's a modified 20.
Okay. Okay. Your voice echoes into the darkness, and you can hear a mumbling, sort of quiet voice saying something that you can't quite make out. And on Todor's turn, he spends his turn checking that whether he's still invisible or not. Therefore, it is Malark's turn. The storm sphere is still spinning, but no electricity coming out at the moment. Nicholas, your turn.
Mike was muted again. Is it possible for me to catch the wizard, but not my friend with
what?
burning hands?
Unlikely, because you don't know exactly where the wizard is. If you knew exactly where he was, you could.
To be fair, I am on the ground.
Oh, that's true. That is true. He's prone, so you could aim it upwards a bit.
Yeah, I'll angle it slightly up.
I'll allow it, sure.
And that's
Okay.
a
Your first level spell? Or
first level spell dex save.
Yep. He has a 14. That is a success. Just
He barely passes that.
Okay, but he still takes damage.
He takes half.
Yep.
So that's 3d6. Ooh. I rolled pretty well. Rounded down or up?
Down.
Down. Okay.
Yeah, usually.
That's 7.
7? Okay. So that's already rounded down, right?
That's rounded down.
Okay. I will have to roll a Constitution saving throw for 2 things. Ooh, the sphere disappears. The storm sphere. As you just hear this. Ugh! You're going to pay for that, a voice says somewhere.
Visibility's still up.
Yeah, it is.
Better than
And-
nothing, I guess.
Eric is asleep. Which means we have Nuvian up next.
Can I go to him and wake him up again?
You can. Yeah, you run up and you sort of shake him awake. And Eric is awake again.
Yeah, profusely apologizing in the process.
I kind of roll over.
5 more minutes.
Don't
Okay.
try to hit my snooze button, please.
Zenkara, your turn.
muted.
I'll use my my action to speak the command word to my pearl and gain 1 third level slot back.
All right, you're sucking it up, and you feel some of the power returning. Todor, you can hear him just like doing like a snarl. This is quite enough. Just lie down and let me take your strength. Such magic is wasted on scum like you anyway. Gosh! And as you see from the darkness, a small glimmer of red light shooting out and landing right next to Eric and Nuvian, and then exploding in a fireball. Both of you give me dex saving throws, please.
Dexterity save is going to be like 21.
That is a success. Wow. Nice.
Sorry, I was muted. 17 for me.
That is also a success. Well done, guys. So you both take half damage. That will be... that will be 14 points of fire damage to both of you.
Whoa. Well, I'm glad I made the save. I'm still alive.
Well, that fireball is pretty nasty. Anyone has any? No, none of you have any concentration checks up, spells up, right?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
Sorry.
That was Todor's turn. Malark, your turn. You know fairly. You're pretty sure now. You know where the wizard is now because you saw the fireball flying out from a specific space. While you still don't have visual on him, you know that he's like in between 2 stalagmites. off to your right, about maybe 15 feet or so, sort of diagonally to your right. So you could now target him with something if you wanted to. You're also muted, I think. If you're trying to speak, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I was. Could I hit him with fire bolt at disadvantage?
You could. Yes, that would be a disadvantage, but you could hit him with firebolts, yes.
Crit fail.
Okay, you just missed by a mile. Apparently, he was not where you expected him to be. However, I believe you have 2 fire... No, this just deals more damage, right? It's not 2 firebolts at level 5. Anything else you'd like to do, Malark?
I did not know that. No.
Yes, cantrips also scale up at level 5. But yeah,
really
it does 2d10.
Yeah, I think it just adds an extra die.
Eric, you are still on the ground, but asleep. Sorry, not asleep and slightly blackened.
All right, I'm going to get up using half my movement, and then I'm going to use the remainder of my movement to fly in the general direction of where he is. Or did he move, or is he still like right where?
You're not sure. I mean...
Well, I mean, I saw where the little bead came from, right?
You did. Exactly, but you're not sure if he moved after that.
Okay, well, I'm going to go where I thought the bead was.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Earth Tremor. That's a 10-foot radius around myself.
Okay, interesting.
So that's a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. That is a fail. That's a 12.
All right, he's going to take all of 4 points of bludgeoning damage, and he is knocked prone.
All right. You hear somewhere a little to your left, maybe not quite 10 feet or so to your left, and the sound of a body hitting the ground, basically. But he's still invisible.
That's it.
Okay. Nuvian.
Phew. What to do with my usefulness? Yeah, I'm going to try to produce a flame and throw it at him.
Okay.
I have disadvantage because I don't see him, I think.
Because he's still invisible, indeed.
Can I use my my what is it called, the wild magic ability to cancel out the disadvantage, or how does that work?
You could, yeah, you could if you want to.
Yeah, okay, so it's a normal attack roll then to hit him.
Yeah,
and yeah,
exactly.
I'm using that.
I'll be back shortly.
Okay.
That's a 23 to hit.
That does hit.
And that's a bit of damage as I throw a flame at him for 6 fire damage, which is not that great.
Okay. It does hurt him, though. He just goes... you can hear him.
Well, more effective than anything else I did. I'm impressed with myself.
Okay. Sankara, your turn. You've consumed the orb, and the storm sphere has disappeared, so no more lightning coming in your direction.
Okay. Is it windy in here still?
No, the wind has died down.
Okay. I have 3 pieces of chalk. I'm going to take them out and start to crush them into powder.
Interesting idea. Okay. Yeah, I'll say you can do that with an action, just like basically with between your hands, crushing them.
Okay.
You have your movement and your bonus action.
Can I toss this powder as a bonus action?
No, that would be an action. It would be basically an attack.
Okay, then I'm going to just wait till my next turn.
But you can move towards where you think the wizard is. I mean, you're the only one that's still sort of a fair bit away from him.
Okay, yeah. So I'll start to move up, but I don't want to get too close. I don't want him to see me and like try and knock this out of my hand or something.
Okay. Well, it is his turn, and he's getting pretty annoyed with everyone. So you can hear him sort of stumbling up and backwards, and then you see from the backside of the cavern another streak of red light. Cast one more fireball. And that one will hit Malark and Eric, not Nuvian.
What am I being hit with?
Fireball.
Uh-oh.
So that will be a dexterity saving throw for both of you, please.
Okay, these I'm good at.
We'll see.
That's a 7.
19.
Yeah, 19 is a success. Eric, you take 30 points of fire damage.
30?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm down.
And Malark, you take 15 points of fire damage.
Still up.
So you see Eric, who cast Earth Tremor, sort of still flying in the air, and then just being flung against the wall, burning feathers as he slides down unconscious onto the ground. It's about time, the voice says from the darkness. Malark, your turn.
Can I see him now?
No, he's still invisible. But you know where he is. Like, you know the area where he is because you saw the fireball coming from there.
Is he wearing anything metal?
You're not sure? You can't see him. From what you saw previously, you saw he was wearing like a purple robe with silver thread. You didn't see any large pieces of metal, no.
So Shocking Grasp would not get advantage.
No, he would not. He's a wizard. He does not wear armor.
Well, I'll try another firebolt.
Go for it. That's with disadvantage.
14.
No, misses. Barely, but misses. Anything else?
That'll be all.
Okay, Eric, death saving throw, please.
That's a 4.
That is one fail. Nuvian, your turn.
I'm gonna use my my move to move towards Urk.
Yep.
Can I feed an unconscious person a health potion?
You can. It will take you an action to do so.
Well, yeah, I will do the next turn, but for this turn, I'm going to cast Entangle at where the wizard is.
Okay, and that is a strength save or something like that, right?
That is a strength saving throw indeed.
Okay, not his strongest suit. That's a fail.
Yeah,
that
and
is a fail. So you see 4 vines and roots breaking forth from the ground, from the sort of stony and earthy exterior of the interior of the cave, and sort of starting to like wrap around and tangle. And you now see the vague outlines of a figure, very vague outlines, where the sort of thorns and vines are latching onto. Does he take damage with that? No, right? It's just
no, and he can use an action to break free with another strength check.
Right.
And wild magic doesn't trigger because it's not a sorcerer spell.
Oh, does that only trigger on sorcerer spells?
Yeah.
Oh, so this is a druid spell. That's right.
Yeah.
Your druid's background comes to the forefront. Fine. Excellent. Okay, cool. Zenkara, your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna try to run forward to where I'm pretty sure he is and toss this powder at him.
So you can see now that there's like vines that came out of the ground are wrapping themselves around the sort of a vague humanoid shape, basically, which is still invisible. So you know very well where the wizard is, and you're throwing the power on it. That will be a ranged attack, basically. Not with. I will not give you disadvantage because of the vines. They sort of give you. They cancel out the disadvantage, briefly anyway. So that would be just a straight up dex plus your proficiency modifier bonus.
Okay. Oh, fuck. 6 total.
You stumble sadly and...
Oh, wait. Plus proficiency modifier.
Yeah, it's still not
okay, well, it's still going to be not going to be enough.
I mean, it's sort of hard to throw a handful of chalk. It's not quite as easy. You chuck it, but it just lands on the ground, on maybe about 2-3 feet away from the figure.
Some of it blows back and like covers my mouse.
Yeah, exactly. All right, the wizard will. Looking at Nuvian, he will cast a 2nd level magic missile against you. So 4 magic missiles shoot out, and all 4 hit you. That will be 14 points of force damage.
Yeah, I go down and detangle the souls.
and which means that the vines disappear, right?
Yeah, it's a concentration spell.
Okay. So the vines wither and fall to the ground. Okay. Malark, your turn. You're also muted once again. Nick? Hello?
Keep muting myself. Do I have disadvantage on the attack? Because I made a roll.
You have disadvantage in the attack. You can attack him, but you will have disadvantage. This is Firebolt, right?
This is Firebolt. I rolled a 16 with the disadvantage factored in.
That is a success, exactly what you needed. Oh, no, actually, it's one more. But anyway, his AC 15. So you do hit.
Okay. I do hit him for 2d10.
Yes, indeed.
15 points.
Okay, so you hear a and all of a sudden, there's a wizard standing there, as his greater invisibility has finally failed him. He's just like standing there, blackened and burnt, a part of his armor. You can see that he's not looking good. You have injured him quite heavily, but there is a shine of rage in his eyes.
Yay, I'm useful.
Eric, death saving throw, and Nuvian, you as well.
It's just a con saving, so isn't it?
No, it's just a
just a straight D20.
Straight up.
Just 1d20, okay.
14.
That is a success for Eric. That is a success for Nuvian. Zenkara, you see the wizard standing now. Only you and Malark are still standing. The other two are unconscious on the ground.
Okay. I have an internal struggle of should I go stabilize my friends or should I finish this off, and figure I need to go ahead and finish this off. So I'm going to cast Magic Missile as a 3rd level spell.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I have one 3rd level slot because of that pearl.
Okay. As you raise your hand, the magic missile shoot out. He looks at you and he gives you a expression of like amusement and disgust as he flicks his fingers and the shield appears and absorbs all the magic missiles.
Oh yeah. Okay. So. Okay, well, with my movement, I'll start moving over to my friends with my tail between my legs.
Okay, his turn, and he will cast a 2nd level magic missile against Malark.
I will put up a shield of my own.
Oh, shit. Nice. And then... And he actually gives you like a nod and says, huh, fair enough, I suppose. And takes a few steps to the side. Circling around, basically. Your turn, Malark.
Another firebolt.
Okay.
For let's see, what is that? 21.
Shit, that hits.
He takes 7.
He will actually wait. He will actually, to his terrible chagrin, he will have to counterspell that. He will counterspell a cantrip. Yeah, he looks really angry as he forms the words and the flame disappears before it can reach him. He looks, pissed and hurt now. Eric, death saving throw.
That's a 1.
You're dead.
Yeah.
I got a 16.
That is a success. Eric is burning and just, stops moving forever. Zenkara, you see that as you're approaching. You see the Aarakocra is dead, burned to a crisp. The elf is still breathing.
Okay. I scold myself for not getting here sooner. But I'll stabilize the elf with my healing kit. And because I have the healer trait, actually...
Elf.
Yeah, I can heal 1d6 plus 4.
Excellent. Go for it. Roll me a d6. So you actually do not just only stabilize him, you bring him back to consciousness as well.
Yep, and that will be 7 total.
Okay.
Shiny, thanks.
So
I
you
should
can.
mention that I am bloodied at this point. It's clear I've taken a good amount of damage as well.
Okay. Nubian, you are back up. Unconscious anyway. Todor will. He doesn't have much left. Yeah, he will try a firebolt on his own against you, Malark. Yeah, that will hit. So you take 5 points of fire damage, Malark. And then Todor's form will disappear in a silver mist and reappear on the other side of the chamber towards the entrance. And he starts stumbling forward, going for the exit, trying to flee. Malark, your turn.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Another fireball.
Okay.
This time for 19.
Yeah, he turns, sees it coming, and brings up a shield spell to deflect it.
No, that's all.
All right.
Oh, I guess I should move after him. I'll move after him, actually.
You're sort of running after him. Eric, you are dead. Nuvian, your turn.
We rub it in.
I'm gonna fumble for a healing potion before I notice that he's dead and it won't help him. And then I try to... Can I sleep him? Or attempt to sleep him?
What's the range of sleep?
I think it's 120 feet. Let me just check.
Yeah, easily.
But without hitting anybody else this time. Is the...
Yes, you can.
It's a 90-foot range, but yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, then I cast Sleep in his general direction. That's 13, 15, 19 hit points worth of sleep.
He slumps forward. Asleep. In the tunnel entrance.
Did someone else get knocked out?
No. The only one who's down is Eric, and he will stay down, I'm afraid.
Okay. All right.
All right, Todor's asleep. Zenkara, your turn.
That was the
Grab my
last
maul.
fire, right?
Grab my maul and bash him in the head.
I hear the words of our friend whispering, and for a moment I consider it, but then I go, no, I'm better than that. And instead I'm going to go over and tie him up and gag him.
You can't reach him, I'm afraid, not this turn. He's quite a bit away. Cast Misty Step to teleport through the room towards the entrance. So you have to, even if you run, you won't quite get there to him. You'll still be about 10 feet short or so.
I mean, but he is asleep, right?
He's asleep, indeed.
1 minute.
So Todor is sleeping. Malark, your turn. You're about 30 feet away from him, so you could reach him if you wanted to. You see Zenkara running towards him with like a piece of rope in her hand.
I'll let her do what she's doing. And go check on the professor.
Okay. The professor is stumbling, trying to stand up. He has managed to unwind the bindings of the young gnome woman who was with him, and she's sort of helping him stand. She's looking a little better than he is, and she also looks really angry. The professor looks at you as you come up and says,
I probably don't look much better than the gnome, actually.
What about Todor? What happened to him? I lost track of him.
What's the dragonborn's name?
Dragonborn, Zenkara.
Zenkara's tying him up as we speak.
I don't know if we can leave him alive. The gnome says, No. After what he did with us, I want to kill him myself. Give me a dagger or something. I'll slit his damn throat.
I'll pass her one of my daggers. I've got two.
Norna, don't let this control you. He sort of shakes off the professor's grip, grabs your dagger, and storms off, slightly sort of grimacing in pain as she moves towards the entrance of the chamber. Zenkara, you see her coming. You're tying the wizard up now. And you see the young gnome woman with fury in her eyes, with a dagger in her hand, stumbling towards you and him.
Hold person.
Okay. She fails with a natural 1. So she stands there. Just, let me. He cannot be left alive. Let me kill him.
Oh, I thought that was the professor saying that he can't be left alive.
Yeah, the professor said that, but he didn't seem so sure about it, basically. He looked torn. This gnome, this whatever friend or pupil or whatever of the professor she is, she does not look torn at all. She looks like she wants to rip out Todor's throat with her bare hands.
Okay. Well, I'll gag him and everything, and then I'm not gonna let them kill him. I mean, regardless of what he's done.
All right. So, Luvian and Zenkara and Malark, you sort of gather with the professor and this young gnomish woman whose name is Norna, as the professor tells you, one of his newest pupils.
I'll take the dagger back, because I realized I made a mistake.
She hesitates for a moment, but I mean, you can take her back. He's held at the moment. Eventually, the spell will drop.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Sorry, I'm just gonna tell them like this isn't the correct way. Like, like we should take them to proper authorities and have him face trial.
But will the proper authorities listen to us right now?
The professor says he has killed several priests, a knight, and some soldiers of the Church of Pelor.
Well, then he will have to face Pelor. But it is not for us to send him there. Let the Baron decide.
I agree. You're wise, my friend. Wiser than you were when you left me. We cannot become like them. Doesn't matter what they did. Narna, the gnome, says, didn't he kill one of yours as well? The Arakokra. You're just going to let him go? Let him escape?
He will face judgment, but...
What judgment? You can bribe him out or use some sort of mind control or something. We don't know what magic he has. If we put him before a judge, he'll probably walk out after a few hours. That's his kind.
We can tie him up, keep him from using verbal semantic. We know how magic works. If he can't wave his hands,
unless you cut out his tongue and cut off his fingers or something, he'll manage to.
But he's not the biggest danger to us.
Yes,
right now, we can't be the monsters they expect us to be.
Yes, if we return him with missing
thing like that, live.
Exactly. If we return him with missing digits or tongue, it will only enforce the stereotypes that everyone thinks of us at this moment.
She looks at all of your eyes, sort of looking for any type of support. Is anyone? No one is with me. You all want to have this monster live?
I don't want him to live, but I do think it's necessary. It's the best way.
What about you, half-elf? You gave me a dagger. Don't change your mind now.
I now realize that while he does deserve death, it's not our place.
Listen to them, child. They have become wise. It's our way. This terrible terrible situation. Maybe we can rectify it by showing mercy and showing them that we adhere to the laws of the land. That we are not better than them. We do not consider ourselves superior despite the gift that burns in our veins. He gives you all some nods. And Norna looks down onto the ground and says, I see I am overruled here. Very well. Let them. And then she leaps towards you, Millard, trying to rip the dagger out of your hand, and goes for a stab. Roll me a athletics check, but with disadvantage because you're surprised by this.
Oh, hell. 3.
Now, she rips the dagger out of your hand and leaps up and goes for a stab against Todor, who is obviously bound and can't move. Zenkara and Nuvian, you have a split second to do something. What do you do?
Wait too long. With a fireball in my hand.
Zenkara? You're muted. If you're talking, we can't hear you.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Mage hand on the dagger to rip it from her hand.
Okay, that mage hand is not very strong, but yeah, you can try. Give me a charisma check, and I will contest with, say, a strength check.
Okay.
But I will give her advantage because, as I said, mage hand isn't very strong.
Okay. Fair enough. Total of... Do I add my proficiency with that?
No, just straight up charisma check, no proficiency. Just your charisma bonus.
Okay. Total of 22.
Wow. Okay. She leaps in and stabs, but at the very last moment, you rip the dagger out of her hand, and she just basically punches Todor's chest with her hand, which he just gives a... but doesn't really take much damage. No. You... Very well, then. He just walks away a bit to the side. The professor looks to you and says, well done. Well done. I think...
Thank you.
Despite everything that happened, this could be a new beginning, a chance to prove our worth to the realm. Let's take this mage.
We can only hope so.
There is a fortress close by, is there not? Fortress of knights and priests and clerics?
Yes. That's what we have heard.
Let us take him there. Let us hope that...
Yes, let him be cleansed.
Let us
by
hope
the light of Palor.
Yes. Well, let us hope that they are not too blinded by the light, that they will all consider us enemies as well.
Yes.
Are you with me, my friends?
Oh, that's a strong hope. But better than
Sounds like
nothing.
that's the best option.
Very well, then. Let us go. And with that, our heroes leave this cave, dragging a surprisingly alive but bound and gagged mage with them, leaving 2 dead wizards behind, and also one of their friends, I'm afraid, in this cave.
Could I take the gauntlets off the dwarf?
You certainly can, yes.
They're ogre strength gauntlets?
Yes, they are. And more than that, in fact. They are modified gauntlets of ogre strength, but we'll talk about that another time as you're heading towards Sevenstein Fortress to talk to paladins and clerics and guards of the Church of Palor, and hopefully persuade them that sorcerers are not quite as bad as they might think, despite the misdeeds of a few of your number. But that is a story for another time, as our one-shot for tonight is over. Sadly, we left one Aarakocra dead in the cave, but this was a very interesting outcome. Thank you for playing, my friends, and I'm glad you mostly overcame this crazy battle of spells and magic.
Thank you very much as well.
To all of you who are watching this, well, thank you for watching. We will be running more one-shots and talking about game mastering stuff in the future. So maybe take a look around, subscribe to our channel if you liked our content, and until we see each other again, True Mouse Games says, well, thank you for watching, good luck with your own games, and bye-bye. Stay safe.